which one did I save it in? Right here. Okay, so we got as far as chapter 4, which based on my first time playing this, there's 11 chapters. So we got to chapter 4 out of 11. So at that rate, that's like, what, about an hour per chapter or so? Because I was streaming Higurashi last time for about 4 hours. Yeah, when I said before that Chapter 1, available for free on Steam, by the way. Chapter 1 is, like, surprisingly long. Like, getting it for free is one of the biggest steals in life. Yeah, like, I thought it would just be, like, a quick little prologue chapter. It's like, no, but this goes on a while. I actually love it, because it's enough to get you... It makes me want to get the other chapters that you do have to buy. And boy, howdy. But I wanted to save it for stream, so that's what I did. So let's get back to it. We're at the end of chapter 4, so we're going to jump into chapter 5. So getting about halfway point-ish. Alright, let us continue. Let's see, what were the tips that we got? Just for an idea. Oh yeah, they were talking about Rena's name and how it's actually a little different. Or her real name is a little different. But anyway. Just gonna take a peek at tips to see what sort of stuff we got. Special tabloid, the dam project, dam construction site with the murder, talking about Keiichi's house, the uniform shade. Okay, so yeah, that's just, okay. So still pretty basic info. Alright, so let's continue the story of Higurashi, Chapter 1, Onikakushi. Hey, Mion. How was it, Kei-chan? I'm trying to remember how I did their voices, sorry. So, you went to Renaissance House. Wasn't it amazing? It's nothing like that, right? Right? What the fuck did I dive into? Unlike my house, the Ryugu residence wasn't newly constructed. It had been renovated from a pre-existing building. I'm noticing I might need to, adjust the chat box. Give me one moment. What if I just... Nope, that shrinks the whole thing. Never mind. Fuck. I didn't even think about this. There's really no safe place to put it. Wait, do I have the small chat? Do I have small chat here by chance? I do. Okay. So, let's see about instead using the smaller chat. And I'll just leave it here, because text normally doesn't go this far down. I'm pretty sure anyway. Oh, I guess we'll find out. Alright, I'll just leave it there for now. But usually the text, I believe, doesn't go that far down on the screen. So we'll see. Alright. Back to it. Well, the house itself was fine. Right, I gotta use the scroll wheel so the click doesn't get annoying. The problem was the yard. It was crammed with rows upon rows of oddity. I bet it's her cute collection. They were all the same as Colonel Sanders. Stuff you'd see while walking around in town. The cake shop's mascot, Lil Licky. Who decided to name something Lil Licky? That sounds like a nickname for a Lickitung, which is still a little concerning. Anyway. The Totalmon from the... Totalmon, I'm hoping I'm saying that right, in front of the pharmacy. She even had the amazing flying elephant from the top of the department store. Likiki. No lalafel, leaky kiki. Leaky. I'll agree with you that those are cute, but why the mailbox? Would you get in trouble for that one? but... Oh, so cute. That's all good. Take your time. If you fall asleep, get that sleep. Get that rest. Take care of yourself. Get that eep. Alright. Anyway, what was cute about that mailbox is just a standard mailbox. She must have just thought about it because her face is filled with delight. No, Fine then, get sleep deprived. Okay, no, font is going kind of low. Damn. Okay. Well, if it's gonna be a pain, I'll just... I hate to do it, but... I'll figure out the text box situation later. I would commit sleep deprivation for friends. Honestly, same. Same, so I can't really fight you on that one. Do your best to take care of yourself, though. I can't control what you do, but I do hope you take care of yourself in the end. But also happy to have you here. Love the emoji. Alright. She must have just thought about it because her face filled with delight. So it's the bigger the better? Just as long as it's big. And her room displays the smaller ones. I had a chance to see them before. And cute kids like Rika-chan are locked away in the basement. Okie doke. Be trying to sleep while watching. Got it. Yep. I'll keep anything. I love how she didn't deny that she would keep Rika in the basement. Cute. So she takes anything she likes back to her nest. No ill will intended. She's just like a little crow or a magpie. Probably magpie. Hey, Rena? You know about the Statue of Liberty in New York, right? Is that cute? Yeah, cute. I want it. The US should probably come up with some countermeasures ASAP. I don't know, man. Rena's kind of a one-man army. If not, the Statue of Liberty really will take a trip to Hinamizawa in the not-so-distant future. Hey, Rika. My apologies for keeping you waiting. Rika-chan had returned. No fun being called to the staff room. Did you do something? How rude! Rika isn't some hoodlum like Keiichi-san. Nothing like that, Keiichi-kun. Rika-chan is a member of the festival committee. Festival? The school cultural festival or something? Kei-chan, I already told you. It's the village festival. The Watanagashi. Oh, come to think of it, she did say there'd be a festival at the shrine during the next break. So, what's this Watanagashi thing about? Is it like a floating lantern festival? I guess the last part, where you set things adrift in a river, is similar. Except we use cotton things, like old worn-out futons and padded cloaks. It's a festival expressing thanks for their years of service. The people living in Hinamizawa dumped their futons and padded cloaks in a stream? Sounds like it'd be a lot of trouble if it backed up the current. Maybe they should just drop some fish in and have a fish wrangling competition. Skewer them, sprinkle a little salt. Oh man, I could smell it already. That's just summer camp. I never anticipated how destitute Keiichi-san's imaginative capabilities would actually be. What? How could you tell I was thinking something silly? It was written all over your face. What sort of face could have expressed what I'd imagined just now? Rena demonstrated it for me. I see. No argument here. That is the definitely I want fish face. It's nothing fun like that, you see. But you should still look forward to it.
let's all go together. I'll come get you that day.
I don't really feel like going to festivals unless someone asks me to. Someone just asked you to, bud. I wouldn't get bored if these guys were going.
You won't get bored. I read your thoughts. We're doing it again this year.
Mion's proclamation came as she looked at each member in turn. What was this all about? From the way Mion looked, it was probably
our club's summer tradition. The Cotton Drifting 4-Demon Firefight!
That sounds epic. That sounds awful, bro. What kind of a name is that?
I think it's a cute name, though.
I tried to object sharply, but since Rena looked happy about it, I decided it was pointless to fight it.
Since Keiichi is here this year, it becomes 5 demons.
Rika-chan made a small correction in light of my presence. So, how does this funky-sounding club activity tie into the festival?
Oh, ho, ho. This is where you exhibit the skills you've nurtured through your daily club activities.
Exactly. We show the full extent of the abilities that the best of the best have obtained through our daily trials and tribulations.
But last year the mayor got angry, so we need to make sure not to cause any problems this time.
So basically, we're doing club activities while checking out the stalls. Rika-chan really is the only one who explains things, so they make sense. I see. So we'll be exhibiting on those busy festival grounds. Rena was right. Of course, that would be a reason for the mayor to get angry.
But it's lots of fun.
That was the only point I did not doubt. It would be, without question, fun. The day of the festival was drawing near. Well, putting that aside for now, let's start our club activities today. Any objections? Nay, I guess 3 quotation marks means 3 people said it. Anyway, our voices rang out in unison. When there's lots of people, card games really are the easiest to play. This really is the most basic of table games. Playing with the marked deck again? We'll use a new one today. There are no marks on the cards, so we're on equal footing.
I wonder if that really is the case.
I will have to inspect them. Well, that was fair. Just to be safe, everyone checks the cards.
Yes, these seem to be fine.
Are you all satisfied? Then today, I guess we'll play President. That's good for 5 people. Alright, someone tell me the rules. Another standard card game that I've never heard of. First one to get rid of all their cards wins. So, Uno? The basic rules, play a better card than the one before. Complicated Uno. You can play straights and pairs. There are various techniques that improve the game, like reversals, kind of like Uno. But because it's such a well-known game, there are lots of house rules for it as well, much like Uno. The name, for example. In my hometown, we called it Millionaire. I'd like to go over some details. Are the jokers wild? Can you make a reversal with the 3 threes? No jokers. 2 is the highest. You can reverse a reversal. You can only make a reversal with 4 of a kind, not 3. So Uno with poker.
Also, you know how the peasant sends a good card to the president? None of that.
While I was confirming the familiar rules, Satoko looked over at me cautiously. I probably should have tried to look more of an amateur. I was pretty used to this game. It's President, and it's with a new deck. Today, I might be able to win. I had the gist of the rules now. But that wasn't everything, was it?
So, what shall today's penalty be?
About that, why don't we all write something down on slips of paper and have the loser draw one? Oh, seems like it could be interesting.
Oh ho ho!
I'll write a nasty one and have Keiichi-san draw it.
It would be awful if you wrote a bad one and drew it yourself.
Just don't lose. Or just don't lose. Don't you know best? Mion handed out several slips of paper to everybody. Then write down whatever and put it in this bag. When you lose, stick your hand inside and pick one out. Now then, what would be a good penalty? What would a high schooler come up with for a good penalty? Worst case scenario, you'd draw what you wrote. Something too intense would be like digging your own grave.
No penalty. Let's forbid that kind of idea from being written down.
Rika-chan's casual suggestion caused Mion's hand to lurch to a sudden halt.
That's so sneaky, Mion-san! She wrote no penalty and the corner of the slip is folded!
I see. Just in case you lost, just grab the note with the folded corner and you'd be safe. That was a good idea. Diabolical as ever, Mion. Rika-chan is quite formidable too, being able to see through that. I couldn't underestimate her, even though she doesn't stand out.
Everyone, don't write penalties that are too mean, okay?
Nobody agreed to Rena's proposal. We came up with the meanest shit possible after that. Everyone was ruthless. It's fine, Rena. Just don't lose. Sounds like my friends. Just don't lose. Just don't lose, man. Just don't die.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll try hard so everyone has to pick the penalty I write.
Rena was quite brutal, even though she usually appeared meek. Pardon? Better not underestimate her either. Don't underestimate anybody, man. Not even yourself.
I agree with that. I'm very curious what Rena's penalty is in particular. Everybody's penalties are scary.
I still didn't know what Rika-chan's penalties would be like. Hey Kai, how's it going? Welcome to the stream, how you doing today? Basically, you can't afford to lose this game, as per usual. Everybody here ready? We all nodded determinedly. Outing yourself over there, Yatsu. Yeah, I'm doing good. And also, sorry I haven't poked my head in the Discord in a bit. Been hella fucking busy. I like to take my nights hostage. Hell yeah. I mean, it's a hard to hide. I played the 5th. I am in the say-so one. I am the say-so one of most Discords. We'll see about that. I will say I know I'm not the say-so one. At times I feel like it, but then not. Dirty jokes come too easy. Alright. We all nodded determinedly. I'm hoping I said that right. I've never really thought of determinedly. Anyway, having confirmed that, Mion dealt out the cards. And I will take 1 second while she deals out the cards to grab my shirt because it's a little chilly in here and I love it. But a little too chilly. Where the hell did I put my shirt? This'll do. Yeah, I definitely need to hang out more in the server to know for sure. Yeah, definitely. I need to catch up on a lot of things. Whew. Alright, got my new cozy flannel on. Yay, flannel hoodie. Super soft, love it. Alright, Anyway, Mion dealt out the cards. Finally, the battle begins. Time to channel your inner Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist. I had a decent starting hand. Card after card was played in the middle. Not needing Mion to tell them, both Rika-chan and Satoko played their cards without hesitation. Rena and I were the only ones who paused to think. It seemed that Rena genuinely couldn't make up her mind, but I was different. I was like a shark stalking its prey, just waiting for the right time to strike. Huh? Will this work? Then I'll play this 3 and I'm out. 9! Nobody? 8? 7? I'm out.
5 and 5. I'm out. Then I'll discard this last one, and I'm out.
I'm not like other girls, I'm a boy. I love that.
Bah, I missed my chance.
The loser of the first round was, of all people, Mion. And now I was certain. Today, I could win. Is this like Doki Doki Literature Club? Maybe? I'm trying to think. Like, I've actually never played Doki. I know it's something... I've purposely not looked too much into it. I know it's something that goes deeper than it's nothing like what it appears to be. I know that much. But I've purposely tried not looking into it because I want to check it out myself at some point, and I want to be as blind as possible for it. But it could be similar veins, because I will say, despite the silly card game going on right now, in the last stream, it was established at some point as like a little background plot that there was some weird, mysterious case of manslaughter that happens a while back in this village, and we can't seem to find answers for it. So there's something spooky going on in the back. Otherwise, can't say. Oh yeah, I've heard great things. I definitely want to check it out at some point. Might make it the next visual novel if this is something that works out for the stream. But yeah, I will say, I mean, only because the game has hinted at it, there is something deeper going on from the surface. And once we hit the meat and potatoes, we gonna be running. It gonna be a time. But yeah, for right now, we're just establishing more info. It's mostly exposition and just establishing bonds. But yeah, it's a heck of a read. So let's see. Alright. So let's see.
Now then, Mi-chan, pull out one of the slips, okay?
Mion, accepting her defeat, scrounged around inside the bag and pulled out one piece of paper.
What?
Who did this? Who wrote this? Mion quivered and shrieked.
What is it? What is it? Huh?
Rena was also surprised when she peeked at it. What kind of terrible thing was written on it? Pet the principal on the head. Hey, wait. How is this bad?
Keiichi-san, do you not understand? The principal is ashamed of his thinning hair.
Satoko yelled with a serious look on her face. But she wasn't as loud as Mion's shriek. What could it be?
The principal is a martial arts master.
Oh, God.
He boasts about traveling around the world perfecting his skills when he was younger. He switched to teaching after seeing the poor state of education in Japan after the war.
He was inhuman. Pet that guy's head?
As the club president, there's no way I can set a bad example by refusing.
She bellowed out a yell as she dashed off down the hallway. Wouldn't it have been easier to sneak out quietly and try to do it without making a fuss?
Probably impossible. They say he used to hunt sea slugs by sensing their presence.
I could do nothing but wait with bated breath. That sound effect was louder than I was expecting and actually made me jump. A rumble shook the classroom.
The principal's special launcher move just started.
Did it? Hold on a second. Did it not save my sound effects settings? No? No, it saved the voice settings. I'm gonna turn down the sound effects a little bit then. Just a wee bit. Maybe the music a touch too. About right there. Alright. There we go. Punching noises and a kaboom. Following the launcher with a jab, jab, strong, fierce combo? He's even using meter. I don't know what the fuck that means anyway. From how it sounded, the principal's jumping fierce sounds like a multi-hit combo. Probably fighting game lingo. Anyway.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Nothing I could do now except stay calm. I understood now why there were no delinquents at this school. After a few moments of silence, Mion slumped back to us.
Headed.
Is that good enough? Mion said before collapsing.
She's alive at least.
Now we can continue the game. Monster. I was amazed the person who made club activities like these could say that.
But now, the worst penalty is gone now, right? Right?
Rena tried to lighten the mood and was only met with Mion's malicious grin. She was serious now. I'm not holding back anymore. You'll all get yours. The pace of the game became bizarrely quick. I could tell the game had gotten more intense. Ace! 3, 4, 5, I'm out!
I'm out as well.
I'm out too. 3, I am now out.
I lost?
And the heavens chose to vanquish Rena.
What kind of penalty, I wonder? What kind of penalty, I wonder?
It wasn't exactly hard for her to be worried. Just thinking of the level of difficulty of Mion's first penalty still made me quiver. And so, the penalty she drew with trembling fingers was... The heck was this? What the fuck? Speak like a maid.
Huh? What is this? This one... What do I need to do?
So basically, it means that you have to use the same expressions as a maid?
Okay. Master?
It hit me like a ton of bricks. I had no idea who wrote that penalty, but she was awesome! Then, Rena, can you shuffle the cards and deal?
Yes, Master.
I could just die right now. Anyway, let's continue. Right, Rena?
Yes, Master.
The eagerness to which I was goading Rena into addressing me as Master was downright impressive, if I do say so myself. Oh yeah, I won't lose any more. I'm out. I shan't lose either.
I'm out.
Then with that, I'm out too.
I can't believe it. Is it Rena's loss again?
Rena again? What kind of penalty would it be this time? I was delighted by the mysterious sense of anticipation. Anticipation? No, this was conviction! Remove one item of clothing from the top and bottom halves of your body. That's just indecent! Who could have written this? My face reddened in anger. If I didn't yell something out, I wouldn't be able to hide my shaking. Who did write that? God, please give that man a Nobel Prize. That would be an ignoble prize. Not good, not good. What was I thinking? What I was thinking was written on my face. You need to get a better poker face, my guy.
Mi-chan?
Rena begged Mion with teary eyes, but everyone knew Mion's answer already. Nope, won't go easy on you. You lost, so take it like a man, girl.
Understood, Master. I'll Alondrez?
I looked around thinking someone else would probably stop her. Of course, I wasn't exactly trying to stop her either. Being the high school boy that I am. Then I heard the rustling of clothing. The sound of her skirt hitting the ground set my heart racing.
Is this fine, Master?
I looked away like a gentleman. These club activities. You need to be ruthless after all. Keiichi-san, whatever were you expecting? Certainly we would not have her strip if she weren't wearing her PE clothes underneath. Satoko poked fun at me, but right now I can't hear it. Not bad, Kei-chan. This old man never thought you would go after her like that. You've got it wrong. I did not write that one.
Master didn't write this one?
Her squirming around in her PE clothes made it impossible for me to not feel anything. Calm down, Keiichi Maibara. Mion probably wrote that one and planned to go after me as I panicked. Can't fall for her trap after knowing it's a trap. Clear your head, calm down, and assess the situation. I was determined to think my way out of this. And the answer was quite simple. I win! Then I became a god. How so? I, who had already entered the domain of godhood. What would dare stand in my way? It was like they were pulled to me magnetically. I was picking up aces and twos like nobody's business. How could my luck at the draw be so bad? Satoko lost, right? I'll draw the penalty. Speak like a little sister. Fine. Oni-chan. I felt gross saying that too. It's okay, girl. Yes! The pleasure of making this brat disgrace herself. This old man loses again. Mion's lost, right? I'll draw it out. Wear a girl's school swimsuit. No! That's the one I wanted Kei-chan to get! Yes! Mion's despair was like sweet honey.
Master, I lost again.
Rena lost? I'll draw it for you. Let the person in first place rest their head on your lap. Are you fucking serious, my guy?
Oh, in this outfit, Master?
Yes! She's not wearing a skirt, so it's her bare legs. My guy. Oni-chan, you're too good. Satoko lost again? I'll draw it. Obey the person in first place. How about I have you give me a shoulder massage, buddy? You are getting overly confident and cocky here. Fine, Oni-chan. Come on, do it a bit harder. Don't use your nails, then don't egg her on, man. I had transformed into an evil dictator and couldn't be doing any better. It felt like I could control how the cards played out with my mind and even decide what suits would appear just by willing it. By the time I realized it, I had already assembled a harem. I was laughing haughtily as I rested my head on Rena, who was now a bloomer-clad maid. Satoko was wearing a collar and had taken on little sister properties. Mion was fanning me while wearing a school swimsuit.
Today is Master's overwhelming victory, isn't it?
Please refrain from moving your head around. Dude, don't be weird. I began to think. Why does man have no end to his desires? How could I wish for more than this palace of dreams?
What is it, Keiichi?
I'm saddened by the thought of a man having no end to his desires. That was it. Rika-chan hadn't been in first, but she continued to escape being in last.
Keiichi is quite greedy. It said you should know when enough is enough.
I know that very well. But, how to say it? I feel like I wouldn't mind if I died now.
Master, please refrain.
Stop doing it!
You say you wouldn't mind dying. Then that can be arranged.
Rika-chan said it in her usual calm manner with a cheery tone. This was undoubtedly a declaration of war. Go, Rika-chan, go! Take him out! Defeat this archdevil of perversion! I might not be able to win, but I'll beat him. Such stoicism from this little girl who's always hidden away in Satoko's shadow. It would probably be rude not to meet her head on. I shall face you myself, little one. I saw Mion swap a few cards with Rika-chan in the middle of the game, but pretended I didn't see it. Do you believe you can defeat Keiichi-sama with just that? 2. Ace, ace, ace. 8, 8, 8, 8, reversal. Everybody looked over at me. I was still brimming with confidence. Evil laughter. The 4 of them have allied against me. That's it? You're making me laugh. That was good. Reversal, reversal! What? How could such a thing be? Satoko let out a shriek. You simpleton! Simpleton, that's a word I haven't thought of in a while. Using up all of her cards before calling the reversal left Rika-chan with no good cards. She was defeated soon after. I lost. Finally, you fall into my clutch. Dude, don't be weird. Now I'll pick one out. Oh. Wear cat ears, a bell collar, and a tail. Even the penalties were as I wished. You absolute freak. You absolute nutjob. Rika-chan hung her head and equipped the 3 holy artifacts. I mean, they kind of are, though. It's questionable as to why such things were in Mion's locker, but since I had no objections, I didn't ask. Oh, why she gotta be cute? Oh, this is so... Oh, I felt like I had become Rena. This was definitely cute. Cute, isn't it? Isn't it? Oh, I want to take her home. That wasn't me talking, that was the actual Rena. Meep. As Rika-chan mimicked a cat, teary-eyed, rings of smoke escaped from Rena's ears with an audible poof. Rika-chan must taking her home. Just for a while. I won't do anything strange, nothing strange. Taking her home is strange enough, girl. I see. I still have one trick left. Mion gasped and dropped her fists into her open palm. If Rena must, she can take me home. After Rena-san beats Keiichi-san, she can. They thought that Rena in cute mode would be able to defeat me. Would it be that easy? Opposing me was the same as opposing God. I'll teach them their place. How preposterous that Rena can't defeat me. For a moment, I didn't know what was going on. The 52 cards danced and flowed freely between Rena's hands like the machinations of a master magician. In the middle of those flowing cards was Rena's ecstatic expression, her head bobbing around. Shall we, Keiichi-kun? Hurry! My whole body knew it already. I was going to lose. Nothing stops Rena when she wants the cute things. No play? Nothing to play, Kei-chan? Then with this, I'm out! Everyone cheered. I was spent. I've got no regrets. God, thank you for letting me dream a little. Now then, I'll take one out. Keiichi-san's penalty. This is it! Everybody peeked at it in unison, gaze flicking between the text and my face. All day today, I did as I pleased. I'll do whatever it is. What's on there? All. Huh? Every penalty up until now. What the heck? And that is why you don't get overly cocky. Keiichi-san, should you not be speaking like a little brother? Yes, One-chan. Oh, this is quite addicting. Next, I'll have you rub my shoulders.
Keiichi-kun, I don't need the lap pillow. So, do that other one. Okay, you know, the other one.
Yes, master.
Keiichi-kun, that's so cute. Say it again, say it again.
No, please spare me, master. Rena passed out with a squeal, blood spewing from her nose like a fountain. And my dignity was being trampled more than a communal doormat. Next is from this old man. I'm going to have you fan me for a good long while, you know? Whoosh whoosh. Oh, almost forgot. You need to wear this, don't you? The school swimsuit. Huh? This is for girls. Can't I wear the one for boys? It was clearly written here. Wear a girl swimsuit, as you can see. Satoko was like a loan shark. Actually, me trying to escape reality as fast as humanly possible was pretty adorable, if I did say so myself. I'm pretty fucking kawaii right now. Anyway, but whose school swimsuit am I going to wear? If I were wearing one of yours, you wouldn't like it, right? This old man doesn't care about that kind of stuff at all. I think of it as a little benefits. I'm not that in shape, so I think even Kei-chan can fit into it. The executioners surrounding me, wagging their fingers. No! Also, girl, you look like totally average high school shape, so you're fine. My first thought, it's tied around the waist. The second thought, the chest area was pretty loose. A third thought, the crotch area was...
Keiichi-kun is bending forward. Cute, cute.
Girl.
You'll be ready after you wear the cat ears, bell, and tail.
Kei-chan, wanna look in the mirror? It's amazing, really. It's probably best if you look. The stern, scientific, calculating nature mixed in with her fascination made me on very scary. I would like to respectfully decline, master. Your ensemble is complete. If only we could send you home dressed like that. Then, is this enough? I'll change and... While I was saying that, Mion placed her hands on my shoulders and Rika-chan slipped up behind me without a sound.
Not yet, Keiichi. There's still the first penalty left.
In this getup? Rika-chan patted my head without saying a word.
It's been nice knowing you.
Yo, is that a bowl of curry there? Nice. Sir, excuse me! Yes, please, come in. I stepped forwards into the principal's office. My bell collar jingled adorably. The principal froze solid with a smile on his face as he saw me. I couldn't blame him. In this sacred place of study, specifically in his office. Though I said excuse me as I entered, the sight of a person entering with a school swimsuit, cat ears, a collar, and a tail... And for it to be a young male student... Without a doubt, any normal person's psyche would have stopped cold. But this could be explained. We'll call it uncanny valley camouflage, if you will. When humans see others, they can only begin to act after confirming, this is human. Meaning that if he could not comprehend what was in front of him, then in those moments before he could begin to fully process the situation, his mind was completely blank. This was my one and only chance for victory. My penalty? Rubbing the principal's head. Principal, I challenge you! A zashink sound echoed loudly. He went straight for the special move? The principal said one thing to me. What does it mean to be a man? And in a heartbeat. And he's dead. That tremor resounded throughout the Hinamizawan twilight. Okay, but did you pat the head? Because that was kind of what you had to do. Alright, since it's between chapters, quick hydration check, everybody. Also, meds check. Do you need your meds? Take your meds if you need to. If you're working on something, save your work. Don't lose your progress. Do not fall victim to that tragedy. Alright. Rena was given permission to caress Rika-chan's head as much as she wanted, so they headed home together, very pleased. Once again today, it was just Mion and I going home. Man, that was intense. I didn't know Kei-chan was so good at President. No, I was more surprised than anyone. If I was playing with guys, I wouldn't have been that strong. But still, it was pretty bad. Being carried off on a stretcher in that outfit will probably haunt me until the day I die. But that's fine, isn't it? You were able to do something to boast about for the ages, too. Well, when she says it like that, we both smiled at each other. Oh, hey, this guy! Oh, we meet again, Keiichi-kun. It was Tomitake-san. It felt like I'd been running into him quite often. For those who missed it, on the last stream, he was the one who even let us know that there was a murder at some point in the village in the first place. Anyway. Hey, take any good pictures? Well, a few. So, Tomitake-san suddenly leaned over and whispered into my ear. You sure get around. Today you already have a different girl? Also, when we first saw him, we were with Rena, so... He just thought anyway. It's not like that. No need to hide it. It's important to get lots of experience when you're young. Because Tomitake-san let out such a crude laugh, Mion knew what we were talking about without even hearing his whispering. I've heard through the grapevine that Mr. Tomitake isn't doing so badly himself. Huh? No, that wasn't my intention. Sure. Keep up the good work and take plenty of pictures. See ya. Mion seemed to really want to get rid of this lout quickly. From the way she spoke, it seemed as if Mion knew Tomitake-san quite well. He's also not a village resident, so there's that. Everybody in the village kind of knows each other. Even kind of figured out who Keiichi was because, oh, we got a new guy. I don't recognize this guy's face, so you must be Keiichi. Meanwhile, Tomitake-san, he just visits on occasion for photography. Apparently. But yeah, not a resident himself. Right. How's the year treating you, mister? Staying until the Watanagashi? Yep, I plan to. After photographing the festival, I plan on heading back to Tokyo. Being a photographer sure is easy. Be sure to win some big award and become famous. You spent all your best years on photography, after all. I don't think I'm that far gone. Don't they say men start developing their own unique flavor in their 30s? Well, as somebody in their 30s now, I have an energy drink first ingredient is water, so I just saw that. Yep. Yeah, it's fine. Any sort of drink, I guess. Also, as somebody in their 30s, yeah, 30s is when you really kind of, it's different vibes throughout the decades. So for me now, it's like, when I was in my 20s, I was like, man, I feel like an adult. Now I'm in my 30s and I'm like, nah, you 20-year-olds are like babies. You youngins. Anyway. What does it matter what you taste like? It's so gross. Oh, look at the time! I need to get back to the inn before it gets dark and before our jokes go too far and someone at the village thinks I'm saying shit I should not to a minor. Bye! Tomitaka-san began to take his leave with a dry laugh. It did look like he was outmatched by Mion. That's my girl. Now then, I'll see you both at the festival. After waving a hand cheerfully, Tomitaka-san disappeared amidst the cries of the Higurashi. Also, in case someone doesn't know the translation, because it was established at the beginning, but Higurashi is what they call the evening cicadas, which is why you can hear the cicadas in the background. That's the sound of the Higurashi. The way he's going, he probably won't ever get famous. I had him promise he'd display a picture of me if he ever opens up a gallery, but I don't think that'll ever happen. So, you know Tomitaka-san? Yeah, he's an acquaintance of sorts. But you know how easy it is to tell who's an outsider. It sounded like you meet him all the time. Tomitaka-san comes around to Hinamizawa regularly. Maybe 2-3 times a year. He says he's taking pictures of the seasonal scenery and wild birds, but, well, those photos really are nothing to phone home about. Wow, critic. The image Mion painted of Tomitaka-san was fairly unique. The Tomitaka-san I knew was more mysterious. The words flowed naturally from my mouth. I wonder if he's really here to take pictures of birds. Mion stared blankly at me as if to ask, why do you say that? It just seems he's here for something other than taking pictures, I think. Don't you get that feeling? Like about that incident? The dismemberment? Oh, you too? If so, you've got good instincts, Kei-chan. She agreed with what I thought, but was quite chipper in how she said it. You knew about it then, Mion? Of course! He might be able to pull one over on everyone else, but he can't fool this old man! Star. Mion was posturing pretentiously, but I had easily come to a very... I think my AC just kicked up. I just heard a sudden rumble over there. Anyway. Okay, but I had easily come to a very different conclusion from what she was imagining. Hello, Tequila. It felt like all apprehensions I had about Tomitaka-san had disappeared, lifting a burden off my shoulders. I was finally able to appreciate how clear the evening sky over Hinamizawa was. I exhaled everything in my lungs and inhaled just as much. It smelled like dusk. What is it, Kei-chan? It's just that I never thought the cries of the Higurashi could feel this good. Oh, just wait till one's screaming in your ear. It won't feel that good then. What's gotten into you all of a sudden, Kei-chan? We both continued to giggle, not knowing why. I wonder what Rena is doing. I bet she's getting her fill of Rika-chan by now. She's probably in the middle of asking her over so she can treat her to dinner. It'd be great if she's able to take her home. I wonder. Rika-chan is pretty good at that stuff. Yeah, I feel the same. That head-petting penalty was probably from Rika-chan. Rika's probably also the only one who could get away with it, since that's one of her character quirks. She could just walk up to the principal and pet his head, and he'd be like, oh, thank you, Rika. Everyone else, it's like, and now you have chosen death. I thought so too. The only one who could, I just said, I knew it. The only one who could get away with patting his head is Rika-chan, after all. Just pointless chit-chat. The hot day felt like it was being cooled down by the cries of the Higurashi. Oh, another one of those already. Dang. At the end of the chapter already? Dang. Granted, apparently, looking at the stream time, it has been a little under an hour since I started. Officially. Because I rambled for like 15 minutes. Another hydration check since it's between chapters. Alright. But anyway, we got some new tips. Now what's this? Community notice. What do we got? Yes, hello, Tequila. We're greeting the end of the rainy season sooner than in prior years. On this day, when it feels like summer will soon arrive, I'm pleased that everyone is in good health. The season for the Watanagashi is finally upon us. I believe the assistance of the town council will make this a wonderful festival. I also wish to ask for the assistance of everyone in regards to a few things. 1. Collecting bizarre goods. Villagers are welcome to put their wares on show at the well-received Hinamizawa Grand Bazaar exhibition. I can word. Anything is welcome, from unconsumed gifts to used clothing. No raw goods, please. Management. Makino. Okay, management, Makino, with telephone number afterward. Recruiting Little Festival drum dancers. The renowned Little Festival drum dancers group, known for its careful choreography, the Shofu Society, is taking last-minute participants. We're looking for any showboat elementary and middle schoolers. Management, Kimiyoshi. Taking donations. We are accepting donations in multiples of 1,000 yen. Isn't that about like 10 bucks-ish? Anyway, for every 1,000 yen donation, you'll be awarded a refreshment stand ticket. Management, Sonozaki. Like Mion's family? We are always taking suggestions for ways to improve the festival. If you have an interesting idea, call Kimiyoshi at this phone number. There's a 200 yen refreshment stand ticket attached below the cut line. Ah, so they just hyping up the festival then. I didn't really see much in the way of clues there, other than seeing that Mion's family is helping with the festival in some way. Yeah, anyway. Let us continue to the next chapter. A few days had passed since the incident. During that time, either Mion was busy or Rika-chan had to help with the festival preparations, so we couldn't get everybody together for club activities. Also, can I just say I love the colors in the background. I love, like, the golden autumn mountains. I would love to live in a mountainous area, I swear to God. Though one, also ideally kind of close to town, because maybe just vacation in an autumn place, because I do kind of need modern conveniences. Anyway, even though I thought I would never want to participate again after the years it shaved off my life each time, not having it only made my heart grow fonder. I really am not honest with myself. Today we finally had our club activities again. These weren't the same old club activities. It was called the Cotton Drifting 5 Demon Firefight. Oh, festival time? And it was one of the biggest events in the club. Keiichi, does this yukata still fit you? Can you try it on for a second? Mom pulled out an old, dusty yukata. Nah, I don't need a yukata. Those are embarrassing, so I'll just go in my normal clothes. But this is a festival. Wear it, okay? Ren and the others said regular clothes are just fine. If I was the only one wearing a yukata, it'd be even more embarrassing. Come on, Mom. You don't get my fashion. I put on the same old vest as usual. I'll be going with Rena and the others, so you don't need to worry about me. Is that so? I'll be going with Dad when he wakes up. Dad let out a loud snore from the sofa. From how it looks, he must have pulled an all-nighter last night. He just finished sending in his manuscript, so he might not wake up for a while. It seems my dad writes for art magazines sometimes, too. I've never read it, though. I wonder if my dad is a really famous artist. As a son, it's a bit strange for me to say, but I can't imagine he's selling all that well. But he's able to feed a family of 3, and my life isn't exactly full of hardships. Maybe he's actually a master painter. I just never knew it. Ding dong. Ding dong, bing bong.
Keiichi-kun, are you home?
Uh-oh, it was already time. I didn't want them coming here, so I was planning on leaving early and waiting outside. Hey, Rena, I love that outfit on her. She's so cute.
Oh my, it's Rena-chan. Thank you for always looking after Keiichi. Ma'am, he's also been looking out for...
Why are you blushing just for meeting my mom? Don't get all flustered. This feels so awkward. Let's go, Rena. Since Rena would continue to space out if I left her here, I grabbed her hand and dragged her out. That probably made her even more flustered, honey.
Rena-chan, look after Keiichi for me. Yes, ma'am. Even if it means I must sacrifice myself.
What did you just say? Why don't you do it right now?
That's a bit extreme, honey, but okay.
She waved back even as I was dragging her away. I also love Miana in her casual clothes. Fellow hoodie enjoyer. Hoodie around waist enjoyer. Okay, Kei-chan. You hungry today? We'll take care of that at these stalls. You thought I'd let myself get full knowing the club activities will involve the stalls? Wouldn't have it any other way. Where are Rika-chan and Satoko? Are they already at the temple?
Yep, Rika-chan's a festival committee member after all. Satoko-chan is probably with her as well.
I see. Alright, let's make some noise today.
But not too much because we can't get in trouble with the mayor!
Yeah! We were already in high spirits with just the 3 of us here. Oh gosh, the art for the festival looks so cute with this mod. Like, yes, I loved the pictures with the stalls, but this does give it way more personality. Oh, those chocolate-covered bananas? Gimme. At least I assume that's what that is. Is that a Gundam? Gimme. Oh my gosh, I have so many friends into Gunpla. They would love that. Anyway, it was way more lively at the Furude Shrine than the last time I came, far exceeding my expectations. Throngs of people were crammed between rows of market stalls lined with colorful paper lanterns. Despite that, it was actually quite enjoyable. There sure are lots of people here. I can't believe they all live in Hinamizawa.
Everybody attends the Watanagashi. I think about half the village is here.
It's not just that. Municipal and youth councils from neighboring towns and villages advertise this event as well. That's right. There aren't that many students at our school, but there's a lot of kids here today. It just doesn't feel like a festival unless there are kids running around after all. That's true, I agree. Ah, hello and good evening, says someone I don't know. These 2 knew everybody we came across. Of course, I greeted them as well, but I still wasn't familiar with everybody yet. Oh, Reno-chan, thanks for the food you brought me a while back. My son loved it. He said it was delicious.
It was nothing at all, Star. I'm glad he liked it. Say hello to Kazumasa-kun. Well, Kazumasa-kun for me, please.
Hey, if it isn't Sonozaki Oju-chan. I'm in charge of a stand again this year, so make sure you come visit. Pops, have you gotten fatter? You'll end up having a heart attack with a gut like that. Girl, please. Oh, this kid here is new. Are you one of her underclassmen? He's one of my members. An upcoming hopeful. If you cross him, he could crush your stand in one night. You've got little Missy's seal of approval, I see. I hope you take it easy on me. As you could imagine, Mion was chatting away with the old guys running the stalls.
Mi-chan is really energetic after all. She's really popular with the older men.
Hopefully not in a creepy way. I think Rena is pretty popular too, being cute and all. That was, of course, so long as her little condition didn't flare up. But as long as she's blushing quietly, she's pretty cute.
I'm popular with some people? Really? Really?
Oh yeah, honey. Trust me, mid-2000s, I saw you all over the internet. Not in weird ways, I should say, but I saw your face more than others, so. With some people. I evaded giving her a straight answer by roughly tousling her hair. The stall keepers came all the way from town. It's not really a festival without them, after all. So, we're going to mess with them now? I don't care what kind of match it is, I'm going to win it.
Oh, yes. I'll try too.
Hey, Satoko. Hey! You're all very late! It's unacceptable to keep a lady waiting, Keiichi-san. Oh, my bad. So, where's this lady I've kept waiting? What did you... Not even what, but what did you just say? Alright, Satoko was in top form as well. Seems she was all excited about being able to get everybody in the club together for the first time in a while.
Rika-chan, cute!
Rena let out an elated sigh. It seemed that the real lady had made her appearance. Aw, she's so cute.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening to Keiichi as well. You're not everybody.
Woo! Looking good. You're looking sharp again this year.
Cute! Gotta take you home!
Rika-chan was wearing a Shrine Maiden outfit. Yep. Rena's little outburst was completely understandable. Rika-chan's clothes sure look like the real deal. Is that a real Shrine Maiden outfit? My grandmother made them by hand. They're quite authentic.
Rika-chan has an important role to play at the end of the festival, so she's wearing this.
I see. Rika-chan was on the executive committee because she performed all the Shrine Maiden rituals for the festival.
My work is only during the finale of the festival, so I can still play for a while.
So, we cannot afford to waste any time. Let us begin. Alright. Oorah. Alright, it's go time. The music's kicked in. Felt good to wander around the festival with just the 5 of us. Mion called everyone over to a stand that caught her attention and proposed a rather odd competition. Takoyaki eating race. Oh my god, I would love to be part of a takoyaki eating race. Everyone has to buy their own. Ready? Go! A standard in vendor stalls, the takoyaki stand. At least in Japanese stalls. I need more takoyaki stands in, like, festivals in America. But no, we just get... Well, I mean, I guess funnel cakes are also good, but I also want some takoyaki, please. What was especially standard for these kinds of events was the fact that they were simply balls of dough, takoyaki in name only. It burns! Are you okay, Keiichi-kun? Have some water. My, eating those scalding takoyaki whole is suicide. I guess the trick is to buy the ready-made ones that have been left there for a while.
They really don't taste good.
The stall next to it was a shaved ice stand. It was still a bit too early in the season for that, but right then, it didn't matter. Let's do shaved ice this time. It's a shaved ice eating race. Ready, go!
Shaved ice eating race? I can't.
As long as you can melt it a bit with your body heat, then... It's so cold! Brain freeze! Not smart. This old man ordered it with plenty of syrup. It'll melt quickly when it's mixed up. Strategies. Those stooges were too late. The moment they chose to tackle it head-on was their downfall! Whew! Finish! I don't... The use of capital I's makes it look like vanilla shed. K-chan is done? That was too fast. It couldn't be. Keiichi-kun, you didn't add water from the goldfish tank behind you, did you? That can't taste very good. Next to that was another old favorite. A cotton candy stand. Why don't we do this one next? Of course, it's a speed eating contest. Hey, how do you eat cotton candy quickly? Oh, easy. You just get it wet. Look at that video of the raccoon trying to wash the cotton candy. You'll understand. How? On Satoko's mark, Mion, Satoko, and I all compressed the cotton candy with our bare hands. The time it took to stick the whole thing in our mouths, 3 seconds. I expected Satoko to figure it out, but I didn't think Kei-chan would too. Can't have you treating me like I'm a newbie forever, can I? It won't taste very good. Rule of thirds, let's go, Rika. Rika-chan had also crushed it between her hands and stuck it into her mouth. This is probably the only place in Japan where people eat cotton candy like this. I think only Rena's cotton candy was happy with how it was eaten. Yeah, for me, the best way to do it is just peel off a little strip at a time. Melt a little at once. But it felt like we'd end up doing stuff like eat noodles through the nose contest, or human water pump at the goldfish scoop at the rate things were going. This old man will probably still win, too. I am simply no match for Mion-san when it comes to eating repulsive things. Yeah, seriously. What's up with you guys? Are you telling me you don't want to have a blue Hawaii topped yakisoba eating contest? Goddamn girl. Shake, shake. Both Satoko and I shook our heads in unison. I'd do a one-on-one with her with that. It sounds disgusting, but I would do it if dared. Can we have a game that doesn't involve food this time? Can we? Rena's proposal was a godsend. It was about time we played a different kind of game. It also seemed like neither Rena nor Rika-chan were any good at speed eating or gorging themselves. Okay, Rena, I'll let you pick out the next game. Anything is fine. Well then, I'm going to be the judge. Find cute things on the festival grounds. You have 1 minute. Fine by me. I know exactly what Rena likes. Alright. I think I can win with that. Ready? Go! Oh? Why aren't Keiichi-kun and Rika-chan starting? Well, why not? Mion and Satoko dashed off madly, but Rika-chan and I calmly stayed right where we were. Could it be you've already found it? The cute thing? I've already found it. Keiichi too? Yeah. What is it? I can't wait! Both Rika-chan and I stood motionless for those few moments before Mion and Satoko returned. This is probably the first time we've gone head-to-head like this. It will be the first. Rika-chan, you expect to win with that, huh? I am a member of this club as well. Win by any means is our society's third rule. Rika-chan sneered to the best of her ability. You're on. Both Mion and Satoko came back, each with their own plan of attack stuffed in their arms. Okay then. Let's go in order. Let's start with the club president, Mi-chan. Too bad, you guys. I'm ending this now. This old man brought this! Where did she get those? They were old diamond-shaped tin signs. Pleb curry, snake oil incense, nostalgic tin signs from the old days. How about this? That's very understated. A little too understated. Mion? I used to see those stuck up on barbed wire fences. They were more nostalgic than cute. Can you explain what part of that is cute? Sir, need I remind you? She went gaga over a Colonel Sanders statue. You never know what to expect. She has a mailbox in her yard that she got from someone's yard because she thought it was cute. There is no logic. You just have to guess. But there were puffs of smoke noisily shooting out of Rena's ears and nose, almost like a steam train. I didn't get it. I shall be up next. It is this. It was the hand-drawn poster from the Ladies' Society roasted corn stall. It was a really bad sketch done by a housewife. Pardon? An anthropomorphic roasted corn drawn without any sort of real plan. Its very existence invited a sense of sorrow to the viewer. Wait. That was the sound of blood jetting out of Rena's nose. It seemed to have been rated higher than Mion's. I really didn't get it. It feels like your artistic sense is a little avant-garde by about 5 eons. Oh, those were nothing but mass-produced signs after all. They had no chance to get something hand-drawn. I couldn't even begin to follow the way those guys were thinking. Then I will be next. Next is Rika-chan, is it? What can you even do without anything? Did you forget who this is? Yeah. Did you and Satoko both forget? If Rika-chan felt like it, she could simply... After moving back about 10 yards, she began waddling up to Rena. Seeing that, both Mion and Satoko gasped. Oh no! Too late! Rika-chan tripped over nothing and lay motionless after falling down. Rena hurried over to her. Rika-chan, are you alright? Alright? Rika-chan had a lump on her forehead and tears welled up in her eyes. Only her fingers peeked out from her sleeves. This was the vital part. The palms of her hands were covered by her sleeves. She made just a single sound. Meep. Little cat meep, I guess. Cute. I'm going to take you home. I'd completely forgotten about that. The blade that I personally had to use. Rena's face went completely red, her head bobbing back and forth with excitement. She embraced Rika-chan and began rubbing her cheek against her. Oh boy. This is gonna be a toughie. I'd expect no less from her. Not a single element was overlooked. She's tiny, shrine maiden, brink of crying, meep. It was perfect. A simple trip transcended into pure moe. Now this is what you call art. Kei-chan has a pretty weird definition of art. I'll just pretend the sharp sting of those words cutting through me like a razor was a figment of my imagination. I need to save that. Rika-chan turned her gaze to me with a daunting smile as she was caressed by Rena, who was in full Kiyut mode. Now, Keiichi, can you beat me? That cold smile is frightening, Rika-chan. It must just be my imagination, but I see a demon inside her sometimes. Kei-chan seems to have his own plan of attack. I wonder what he's going to show her. I also wish to observe the play Keiichi-san will make. Could it be? Is Keiichi also going to give a performance? I basked in their pointed stares. I pulled Rena, who gave no sign of canceling out of cute mode, away from Rika-chan. Ah, cute thing. Keiichi, can let go? I'll show you something even cuter, so just hold on for now. Huh? Oh? Something even cuter? But it's a bit too crowded here, bro. Let's go back there, bro. Rena looked very surprised as I pulled her behind the shrine. Bro?
I cannot fathom what Keiichi-san could possibly be planning. Kei-chan wouldn't stoop to... No. Would he? Keep on fighting. Yeah.
After a bit, I returned. And a bit after that, so did Rena, dragging her feet.
There's no way that scoundrel Kei-chan did something to innocent little Rena.
Mion and Totoko passed by me, heading straight to Rena.
What exactly did he do to you?
For a moment, Rena was too dazed to realize someone was talking to her.
Gasp. Oh, it's me-chan. Oh.
Rena, are you alright? Did Kei-chan do something to you?
No, he didn't do anything strange to me.
This is quite severe. Exactly what did Keiichi-san show you?
It was so cute.
Cute? What did he show you, Rena? Rena let out a really long "Oh!" Her eyes sparkled as she spoke.
It's so cute.
It was In case you missed that,
it was Keiichi-kun's furry little seal.
Punching. In the blink of an eye, Mion and Totoko's elbows smashed into my face. It wasn't elbows, it wasn't punching, it was elbows. Got it. What? Showing Rena something so dirty! You sick pervert! I shall have you beaten into oblivion! Wait, you've got it all wrong. A dark, billowing aura flowed from Mion and Totoko. It was no good. They were gonna kill me.
Mi-chan, I'm not sure what's going on, but you've got it all wrong. You see, Keiichi-kun had... It's a fur seal keychain.
Rika-chan stuck her hand into my pocket and pulled out my keychain.
He said he made it long ago for one of his summer school assignments. He said he doesn't show it typo, but show it to others often because it's embarrassing. Yeah, so small and cute. He tried his best to make it. It's so wonderful.
Oh, this little man thought you meant it was Keiichi's. I'd expect no less from Mion-san. You misconstrue things in the wildest ways. They slung insults at each other and looked like they were ready to tear into each other at any second. I beg of you. If I'm in the clear, would you mind getting off of me? Hello. We were interrupted by the flash of a camera. Hey, buddy. Hey, guys. You all seem energetic as usual. It was Tomitake-san. As I lay crumpled on the ground, Mion and Totoko continued to bicker above me. Rika-chan was patting me on the head, and Rena was still in cute mode. It was probably quite a lively scene.
It's a fine evening indeed, although it's rather poor etiquette to photograph a lady without her permission.
That's right. At least you don't really need Totoko's permission. Satoko dug her heel into me.
Good evening. You're heading back tomorrow, aren't you? Were you able to take lots of good photos?
Yes, thanks for asking. I got plenty of good shots.
Tonight's the last we can see old Tomitake-sama, isn't it? It's such a shame.
Hurry up and have your major breakout soon. Just as rude as ever, aren't you? I really am sad I won't be able to hear that voice of yours for almost half a year.
Be sure to have as much fun as you can tonight. You'll be back in Tokyo tomorrow after all.
That's true. It'll be another 6 months. Until I can enjoy another night where I can see the stars. Tomitake-san looked up at the night sky cheerfully. At that moment, even though he was smiling, I sensed a bit of sadness. Why don't you move here, Tomitake-san? In Hinamizawa. Tomitake-san was speechless. It's not very convenient here. No shops or recreational spots. There might not be anything really here, but, you know. Everyone knew what I was trying to sorry, that was... Okay. Sometimes it gets confusing when it doesn't say who's speaking. Anyway, everyone knew what I was trying to say. Tomitake-san was also well aware. So Rena, Mion, Satoko, and Rika-chan, none of them butted in. I've only been here for less than a month, so I don't really know everything about it. Normally, I'm a really talkative guy, but in situations like this, I'm at a loss for words. Even though all this was happening in such a boisterous setting, it felt like all the background noise was fading into the distance as the music fades out, with perfect timing as I read that. This place is probably... Tomitake-san rested his hand on me gently, silencing me. Thank you, Keiichi-kun. And Mion-chan and Rena-chan, Satoko-chan and Rika-chan. Tomitake-san's smile was so slight it looked as if it was going to crumble at any minute. But it was warm. I also think it would be great if I could live here. Those might have been cruel words coming from a kid who didn't need to worry about working to feed himself. A hand touched my back. It was Rena.
Keiichi-kun, you shouldn't pick on adults. It's not nice.
The background clamor of the festival returned.
We won't be seeing him for a while after all. We need to make sure Tomitake-san also enjoys tonight.
When Rena smiled, the mood instantly got brighter. That's true. I think I'll do just that.
Hey, Mi-chan? How about it? Can we let Tomitake-san in on our club activities?
That's a great idea. Or so I thought, but Mion had a snobbish look on her face.
One of the requirements for membership is residence in Hinamizawa, you see. Come on, Mi-chan. Just for today. Don't be mean. Well, he does come around often every year. I'll make him an honorary citizen. Whoa, yay!
Did I just skip past something? No. Good. Okay, closing.
Now then, I wonder if this aged fellow, well past his prime,
he's in his 30s, girl,
will be a match for me. Let's have him show us the wisdom of a mature adult.
Can you keep up with us young... Or, sorry, I got it. I understand what's going on now. Can you keep up with us youngins? Tomitake-san stepped back slightly at our audacious grins.
I, Mion Sonozaki, club president, do hereby authorize honorary citizen Tomitake-san's entry into our club.
Her words were quickly drowned out by our cheers. What do you mean by club?
What our club does, you see. In order to cope with our complicated society, we perform various activities with various rules. Sometimes they are in your favor, and sometimes they work against you. I'm pretty weak, so I'd prefer you not single me out. Let's try to get along. If you wish to mock our childish games, then this'll be the perfect opportunity.
We'll leave you with nothing. We won't even leave the hairs on your butt. Bro.
So it's a club...
Yep, just like before.
So it's a club where we play games together.
Of course, Rika-chan was the only one to give an answer that made sense. Alright, just what I wanted. I'll take you up on that challenge. Don't be too rough on me, my mentors. Oh, he's so good with the kids. Tomitake-san got riled up and did a victory pose like he was 10 years younger. That's perfect. We continued walking through the festival with Mion in the front. Now we looked like a family of 6. It had some intensity to it. Same rules as always. The loser will, of course, be subject to a penalty. Tomitake-san was a bit surprised, but to us, it was just the same as always. Regardless of how terrible a penalty it was,
just don't lose.
Rena was also brimming with determination. She didn't have any intention of losing. That's true. I tousled Rena's hair to lighten the mood. She giggled to hide her embarrassment. I see. This is what it means to feel like a kid again. Tomitaka-san whispered that to nobody in particular. At that moment, we heard an old man call out in a strong voice. Looking over, I realized it was the man Mion had greeted right before the festival. You're here, little Miss Sonozaki. Seems you brought quite the crowd. We came to eradicate your entire stall. His stall was a shooting gallery. It was the usual setup where you had to knock down the prize you wanted with a court gun. The rules are simple. 3 shots. The winner is whoever gets the biggest prize. Everybody shouted their agreement. There was no need to consider how to win, since the condition for victory was simply size. The biggest prize at the stall, it went without question. It was that one, wasn't it? I mean, is it? Is the teddy bear really the biggest? It doesn't look like the biggest. I mean, it's big, but it's not as big as, like, the tank or... What is that, a plate of some sort of collectible designs up there, and I don't even know what the Yaha is. There's also the bag, but anyway, point is, we're aiming for the biggest one is a bear. Oh, that teddy bear! Cute! Rena was gazing longingly at a large, stuffed animal. It was intentionally placed on an unsteady platform, so it was possible to get it if you hit the right spot. It's magnificently set up to make someone think that. Not bad, Keiichi-san. I figured you would see through this scam instantly. The most logical course of action would be to aim for some candy or a doll. The intent analysis had already begun. In this club, you'll get eaten alive if you don't come prepared. Everything hinges on what you plan. Everything hinges on what plan you can come up with before the main event. At some point, a large crowd had gathered around us, making a big fuss. There was this much of a following for our club's infamous event? Knocking that bear down ensures a win. Only 3 shots. To use them all just trying. That'd be rough. Hey, I have other customers waiting, you know. Who's up first? The first one has the advantage of being able to aim for the easier prizes, but it's dangerous to compete without knowing the gun's quirks. Tomitake-san's take on the situation was pretty good. He gets what our club is about. Well then, to be fair, how about using rock, paper, scissors to decide? How about it? It's really the only way. Rock, paper, scissors. Normally, we say shoot, but I know in Japan it's janken pon. If I said that right. But yeah, anyway. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot! After a couple of matches, it ended up with Mion being first. Hold on, I also just got something on my glasses. What the fuck? How did that even get on there? What even is that? There we go. That was stubborn. Okay, hopefully that'll do it for now. There we go. I didn't want to end up first. Ah, well. I'll just think of it as a handicap. Gramps, gun! Here you go. When the shooting range guy handed her a rifle, Mion looked over it intently. She didn't forget to check the cork bullet either. Okay. This gun is brand new, isn't it? No faults. Not bad. Mion raised the gun in one swift motion. It was completely different from her careful inspection. She was shooting from the hip. Hop. Fire. Reload. Fire. Reload. Fire. Flop. Flop, flop. 3 candy boxes fell, one after the other. A big haul. The crowd paused in a moment of awe and then erupted in cheers. Whoa! Awesome!
That was quite good.
Tomitaka-san was at a loss for words after seeing such shooting prowess.
Amazing, Michan! Three!
Her accuracy was incredible. Her choice of targets wasn't bad either. The 3 Mion had gone after were fairly large and pretty easy to knock over. They were all targets with very high return on investment. Who's up next? Satoko? Careful, the bullets are light. Next was Satoko. The rifle looked a bit big for her lithe body, but it didn't seem like she had any problem with the weight. Of course, I shall aim for the grand prize. She proclaimed that she was going after the teddy bear. Damn, Satoko's such a bold move.
The moment she knocks it over, she's guaranteed to be in first.
Good luck, Satoko-chan. Satoko was the opposite of Mion. She aimed at the target quite carefully and squeezed the trigger.
These bullets are too light.
The first 2 bullets struck the bear in the torso, but it only shifted a bit. You need to aim higher towards the head or it won't work. Satoko's 3rd bullet wasn't aimed at the bear, but at the candy box below its arm.
Hate to say it, but it appears the bear is just too much for me.
She went boldly after the big catch. Willow, careful with your zoomies. She went boldly after the big catch, but since she switched over to less impressive fray at the last second, the crowd only gave a strained laugh. Were they laughing because she lacked the courage? These fools know nothing. A fine attempt, Satoko. You've gotten better. The palm of Mion's outstretched hand went poof as it tapped down lightly on Satoko. She appeared to just be talking hot air, but this was actually completely calculated. Damn, that's Satoko. Just to avoid being in last place, she dared to switch over to an easy target. Without shame or honor! Magnificent.
I'll allow you to take the bear, Rena-san. I pray for your victory. Okay. Thanks so much, Satoko-chan. Oh, Mr. Bear, so cute.
Rena was up next. She couldn't hit the broadside of a barn as regular Rena, but she said that bear was cute. I wonder how Rena-chan will do. I hope she's able to hit at least one. You're underestimating Rena, Tomitaka-san. It's Rena, you know? It's Rena Ryugu, you know? If it was to get that teddy bear. Whoa! Tomitaka-san wheeled around to see what all the commotion the spectators were making was about. If it was to get that bear, she'd be able to shoot through a pinhole. The one known as Rena Ryugu could do it.
It's shaking. Cute.
Rena couldn't hide her excitement over the bear's slow rocking. Now Rena couldn't lose.
Not bad, Rena-san. The less collected you become,
the stronger you get. Whoa! Another big cheer. Rena's bullet hit the bear's forehead again. Not enough. The bear seemed to wobble more than before.
But it might not be possible.
You never know. With Rena-chan's skill, it might be. While Tomitaka-san was just as excited as the crowd, Rika-chan's analysis was not swayed by emotion. If Rena had 10 more shots, then she could surely knock it over. But with just one more, no matter how you looked at it, no go. Ow! Or ooh, I guess it was ooh. Anyway, or oh, I don't know, but it wasn't ow. Anyway, the crowd let out a dejected groan. She had shot it right in the forehead 3 times. It was a bit late, but they gave her a good round of applause for the attempt.
Oh, Mr. Bear, take him home. Oh.
She should be praised for her valor, but she had no trophies to show for it. Then, at that moment, The old man flicked one of the candy boxes with his finger and handed it to Rena. "'Tis for you, little lady."
Huh? You're giving this to me? Oh.
The gods wouldn't forgive me if I let you go home empty-handed after such a display. There was another shower of applause. Rena turned bright red and I pulled her back over to us by her hand. You did a good job. Your cute mode really surprised me.
Oh, I really wanted Mr. Bear.
It was easy to see that it only needed a little more to be knocked over. Rena had done quite a lot for me. I still needed to pay her back for that delicious picnic. Alright, then I'll get it and give it to you. What? Tomitaki-san had stolen the words right out of my mouth!
Okay. Please, Tomitaki-san. Good luck.
Damn you, old man Tomitaki! Stealing the good parts for yourself! A small hand stretched over and fell gently on my head just before I was overcome with frustration. Hey, Rika.
You keep on fighting too, Keiichi, okay?
Tomitaki-san carefully studied the bear. Setting his sights, he shouldered the rifle while holding the other 2 shots in his hand. Why is he doing that? Yes, no doubt. Tomitaki-san is aiming for... The time between shots was short. It was meaningless to shoot again once it stopped shaking. So Tomitaki-san was relying on rapid fire to win the battle. It was visibly wobbling much more than it ever had before. But that was all. It still didn't fall over.
Oh, it's too bad.
All of Rena's momentary expectation from watching it sway violently turned into a dejected sigh. I really thought it would work.
Oh, it seems that since you're a man, you will not be receiving any candy.
Oh my god! That was it! It meant Tomitaki-san had no spoils of war!
So both Kei-chan and Rika-chan can just shoot down a sure, easy prize and avoid being dead last.
Avoid being the loser, huh? Oh, sorry about that. It's your turn next, Keiichi-kun. For calling me a loser. Best of luck. I was the 5th shooter. I took the rifle from Tomitaki-san. If I took the ruthless route, as Mion had suggested, then I'd go for something insignificant. Except... when I picked up the rifle, I definitely got a feeling from it. It was burning passion, passed down to me by Tomitaki-san. The regret of not being man enough to fell the bear that Rika wanted. Yes, that's right. If I didn't aim for the bear, then I wouldn't be a man. After all, that was my promise to Rena.
Huh? What promise? What?
To shoot down that bear. Then give it to Rena. That one.
You mean...
The crowd went wild when they saw our conversation. Whoa, cool, Oni-chan, show us what you've got! That's not it, fine men of the crowd. If I didn't do this, then Rena might mug the old man running the stall on his way home! No, that's not it at all. Why can't I just express my honest feelings? Keiichi-san surely talks the talk.
But how do you actually intend to bring down the bear? Rena and Tomitaki-san's did make it tilt a bit, but I think finishing the job will be difficult. Keiichi-kun?
If only there was some way to shoot faster, I'd be able to pile more power on the sway from each hit. Good luck, Keiichi-kun! Whoever said that? After taking 2 deep breaths, I shouted over to the guy. 2 more rifles! Huh? The crowd murmured amongst themselves.
I wonder what Keiichi-san is up to. One person can't handle 3 rifles at once. Who do they think they are? The rifleman version of fucking Zoro or Zolo from One Piece? Anyway.
That'd be funny to see someone with a rifle in each hand and then just a rifle in their mouth. Not in the unpleasant way, by the way. I mean, like, holding it by, like, the butt of the gun in their mouth. Anyway.
I get it.
Nice thinking, K-chan. Mion was able to figure it out magnificently. Basically, what was taking the most time was reloading the shot.
That's right. Then, by putting 3 preloaded rifles next to each other...
Is he even allowed to request this? Probably because of the show they're putting on. Anyway, Tomitaka-san went silent, peering at me and the bear through his lens. His photographer's blood predicted a miracle will occur. And then the crowd finally picked up on what I was planning. I let out a great cheer. They chanted my name, Keiichi! Rapid fire is the key. If I miss, all is for naught. Phew. After letting out a deep breath, I paused. Relax. Now! That moment, it felt like time itself had stopped. I felt like I could see the trajectory of the bullets. Hit it, and knock it down. The first shot hit the bear on its head. The second. The third. The bear swayed hard. And then... Woo! Yeah! Cheering. Cheer.mp3. The cheers began before the stuffed animal even finished falling off the shelf. What if it just landed on the shelf below? The guy caught it before it hit the ground and tossed it over to me. You actually knocked it over. You got me. Amazing. Congratulations, Keiichi-kun.
Keiichi-san has finally learned how to use his head. I see you in a slightly better light now. Just slightly.
I didn't do it all by myself. Everyone hit it, and those small bits together brought it down. This trophy belongs to all of us. But it's going to Rena.
Right. This is from all of us working together. Me didn't hit it a single time.
After holding up the teddy bear like it was a championship trophy, I handed it to Rena. Here. This is from me. No. From everyone. Thanks for always making your delicious lunches. Rena, thinking she was never actually going to get it, was momentarily speechless.
I can't, Keiichi-kun. This is everyone's, after all.
In that case, I was the one who knocked it down, and it's mine. It's mine, so I'm giving it to Rena. I pushed the stuffed animal towards her again. This time, she embraced and accepted it. You've watched out for me ever since I moved here, after all. I'm really grateful, you see. Thanks a lot.
Oh, Keiichi-kun, thanks so much!
Rena dove at me. Mion told me a few days later that Rena kissed me, but I didn't realize it during all the excitement at the time. I remembered what I was trying to say to Tomitaka-san earlier. There really isn't much of anything here. But there are lots of things you can't find anywhere else. I gained a lot from coming to Hinamizawa. Especially at that moment. The crowd's cheers echoed on and on. From the altar set up in front of the shrine, the drums sounded with a booming echo. It was the finale of the festival.
I'll be going off ahead then.
Uh-oh. I need to go and get myself a good spot too. Well then, everyone. See you in a bit. Both Rika-chan and Tomitaki-san gave their farewells and disappeared into the crowd.
I wish both of you the best in your endeavors. Now, shall we be off?
Yeah, might as well go see Rika-chan's charming figure. Let's go. Yeah. Huh? Where's Rena? What are you doing?
Keiichi-kun! Ni-chan, save me!
Since she was carrying such a ridiculously large stuffed animal, she was being carried by the flow of people. What is she doing? She must have her hands full taking care of that bear. So, I'll leave Rena in your care, Kei-chan. I have my hands full taking care of Satoko. Who would want to be looked after by you, Mion-san? Please don't pull on my arm! Before losing sight of Mion, I grabbed the back of Rena's collar.
Keiichi-kun? Not there! Don't grab me there!
Always so bossy. Where can I grab then? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, stop. I didn't feel ashamed at all. Rena was ashamed enough for the both of us. I grabbed onto Rena's hand and dashed after Mion and the others. We're gonna be late. Let's hurry up. Do you got your bear?
Yeah.
I hadn't realized Rena's hand was so delicate. Maybe she needed a bit more exercise and nutrition. That wasn't what I meant. Not at all. My ears burned. I tried to keep calm. I repeated the phrase, "Keep it together, Keiichi Maibara," in my mind, but it didn't look like I'd be able to anytime soon. I really didn't want Rena to see my face right then, so I pushed onwards, dragging her along without looking back even once. There was already a huge group of people gathered at the altar in front of the shrine. The fire at the altar made it as bright as midday and just as hot. There was a pile of futons warded with sanctified rope in front of the altar. Come to think of it, they did say it was a festival where they did something with cotton futons.
Keiichi-san! Rena-san! We're over here!
Satoko waved her hand from the front row. Sorry. Making our way through the mass of people while carrying a large bear. We reached the spot they'd saved.
How was it? Were you able to have a little bit of excitement with Rena?
You punks, that's what your plan was? Instead of replying, Mion gave us a perverse grin.
How was it, Rena? Was Kei-chan's hand bigger than you thought it would be?
Oh. Rena turned bright red, puffs of steam shooting out of her. I heard something slice through the air and turned around to see Mion on the ground with a welt on her face. Mion, when were you hit?
Between the ha and of a how, I think.
Rena, it's not good to punch your friends to hide your embarrassment.
I didn't hit her. Whatever. How?
Oh, I was hoping it would actually play a drum sound. The thunderous beat of the drum echoed, silencing the crowd.
You must all be quiet. It's beginning.
It was a solemn ritual. Rika-chan entered, dressed as a shrine maiden, followed by members of the municipal committee. The elders all looked at Rika-chan and clasped their hands in praise. The only thing allowed to disturb the profound silence was the flash from Tomitake-san's camera. What's the big thing Rika-chan is holding?
A hoe that's used for this festival. It's a sacred farming tool that only the shrine maiden may touch.
It was an awkward shape for a piece of farm equipment, not uncommon for something used in rituals. After reciting a Shinto prayer, Rika-chan approached the pile of futons gathered at the altar. She swung the hoe skillfully, plowing it into the futons. Each and every little movement of this performance probably had to be done in a certain way. Without a doubt, this was a ritual. What's next? Airing out the futons?
She's purifying the futons, which sacrificially absorbed winter's illness for those using them.
So when Kei-chan said airing out futons, he wasn't completely wrong. Rika-chan's face was already dripping with sweat. That hoe was probably really heavy. She staggered side to side with the momentum of each swing. Satoko looked on, silently lending her support. Worried?
Rika practiced every single day with a mochi hammer. She will certainly prevail.
Satoko's hands were sweaty,
and whenever Rika-chan started to sway a little, she held her breath. Why wasn't me on a candidate to be Why wasn't me on a candidate to be the Shrine Maiden? It feels wrong having Rika-chan swing around something so heavy. I'd do it if they asked me, you know. And, well, it's not something just anyone could do. That's true. Shrine Maidens need to be pure after all. Mion drove her elbow into my side. With the thought of the big drum, Rika-chan gave a solemn bow and descended from the altar. That triggered a round of generous applause. After the Shinto priests had raised up the cleansed futons like a portable altar, all the spectators stood up. Following after the priests, we all marched on at a moderate pace. They descended the shrine's giant stairs in a line. What's happening now? Washing the futons in the river? Watanagashi means setting cotton adrift, you know. The procession continued right up to the bank of the stream. A fire was stoked high, and it was bright as day here, too. People started crowding around it and clamoring. All right, get in line. Line up, Keiichi-kun. I wondered what was up. Maybe we'd get some holy wine? Red and white bean buns? It's not food. I said it was cotton. Ah, but of course. They didn't call it the Watanagashi for nothing. I finally understood. The municipal committee members pulled out the cotton from inside the futons and balled it up like mochi, handing it out to people. Rena dove into the line and brought out some for me as well. We then proceeded to the bank of the stream. Since it's your first time, Keiichi-kun, just copy what I do. She held the cotton in her right hand and, waving her hands as if to purify it, she touched it to her forehead, chest, navel, and both thighs. You do this 3 times, and silently give thanks to Oyashiro-sama. Oyashiro-sama? What's that? The name of the shrine's god? Yes, it's the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. It brings about both miracles and curses. So, you must be sure to show respect. That sounded like a pretty frightening god. But, well, when in Rome. I was officially a resident of Hinamizawa now, after all. Doing as Rena showed me, I touched the cotton over myself 3 times. Thank you, Oyashiro-sama. Thank you, Oyashiro-sama. Oyashiro-sama. This way, all the evil that possesses you is sucked out by the cotton. Then, you let it gently drift away on the stream, and you're done. Together, Rena and I set our pieces of cotton afloat on the surface of the water. The flowers of cotton blooming in the water had sucked out all the bad illness from Hinamizawa and drifted off, disappearing into the distance. It was wonderful, like those floating lantern festivals I'd seen on TV. The best part, though, was feeling like this rite of passage had made me a true resident of Hinamizawa. That was a long bit. I like that music, though. At first, I was a bit anxious. Hurting someone was something I never even considered. Nevertheless, the anxiety then gave place to loneliness, doubt, and more. And then, that wicked, murderous intent eventually took control of my mind. The boy who took the first step towards an unrecoverable daily life, not even realizing that he was walking into the abyss. Onikakushi. A tragedy born from the desire to believe. Are those tears of repentance or tears of resentment? I don't remember this bit. Okay, now that it was moving on its own there, now that that's done. Hydration check. Also, save your work.
Back to it. While staring off into the stream, I somehow got separated from Rena. I wasn't very lonely, though. I know this place now. This is where I live. My home. It's probably better if I just stay here instead of wandering around aimlessly. Someone would surely find me while I was enjoying the evening breeze. I heard a familiar voice. It was Tomitake-san's. I headed towards it. How did it go, Tomitake-san? Were you able to get some good shots? Yeah, fortunately. Tomitake-san was with a girl. I felt a little like I was intruding. Hello, madam. How was it, Keiichi-kun? Did you enjoy the festival? From the way she spoke, it seemed like she was a resident of Hinamizawa. I really should try harder to remember people's faces here. What was her name? Well, it was fun. My face must have given away how desperately I was trying to remember her name, because she gave a, lighthearted chuckle. It's probably because it hasn't been long since you moved here. It's pretty hard to believe, seeing how friendly you've gotten with the other kids. If that's how it looked, it was probably all thanks to Rena and Mion. Perhaps you feel more like a resident of Hinamizawa after taking part in the festival today? I wonder about that. Oh, that's not like you. I had tried to get used to Hinamizawa, but there were still plenty of things I didn't know. The faces of people I'd met, for example. Things that had happened in the past as well. Oh. You're feeling left out because of something like that? It's not so much as feeling left out. It's just... I'm not sure how to say it. That incident at the dam construction site. The fighting over it and the other conflicts. That terrible incident they pretended they didn't even know about whenever I brought it up. Even though it was in the past, as someone living in Hinamizawa, it wasn't wrong to want to know about both the good and bad that happens here. If it will put you at ease, then I'll tell you everything I know. Tomitake-san's smile made me more relieved than I'd ever been. It was hard to think of what to ask when someone said, "Ask me anything, though." Even when there was so much I wanted to ask. Then, could you tell me about what happens when the dam was being constructed? There was a big incident where Hinamizawa was going to be submerged, right? I think the locals would be more knowledgeable about the dam than I am. Well, if you don't mind, I'll tell you what I know. It's only what I read in the newspaper, though. Tomitake-san's eyes entered an unfocused gaze as he searched through his memory. Then he spoke. The decision to start the dam project was finalized 7 or 8 years ago. I heard it was the next largest project after the one in Kurobe. There were 3 major issues in Japan at that time. Improving inter-island transportation infrastructure, meeting the higher demand for electricity, and flood control. There was a boom of dam building due to the massive economic stimulus they provided on top of generating electricity and flood control. Hinamizawa had the right conditions to support dam construction, so it was singled out. The dam reservoir would have covered quite a lot of ground when it was completed. The entire area, right up to Yagouchi, something like, anyway. Right up to Yagouchi way upstream would be underwater. But why did they have to pick a populated area like Hinamizawa? Couldn't they have instead picked a place where nobody lived? I'm not really sure why, but I heard that it was just the right terrain for building a dam. Of course, there were protests here in Hinamizawa. Rika-chan had said they had fought. From that choice of words, I had to guess that things had turned violent. There was a trial, and it was even brought up before the National Diet. It was covered in the Tokyo newspapers, too. Mion had told me all about that as well. I'm sure every resident of Hinamizawa had united to fight together. The feeling of solidarity found here, which could not be expressed properly with mere words, was likely brought about by that battle. As a result, bribery and scandals were brought to light. As things got more and more complicated, they eventually halted construction. If I wanted to know, now was my only chance to ask. It was certainly a bizarre incident that boys my age would be curious about. I felt a little shame from the fact I was petty enough to have my curiosity piqued by Rena and Mion's refusal to talk about the event. But I figured, might as well ask since I had the chance. Just so I would stop thinking about it so much. So, there was a dismemberment, right? There was. I happened to be here in Hinamizawa at the time, so I remember it well. Tomitaka-san's answer was nonchalant in contrast to my hesitantly forced-out question. It was about this time, 4 years ago. It was the day of the Watanagashi, if I recall correctly. Debate on whether to continue construction on the dam was in disarray. Scandal after scandal rocked the project near the end. The incident that was the final nail in the coffin for the dam project. A fight at the dam construction site ended in the victim being murdered. Fearing prosecution, the 6 assailants divided the remains into 6 pieces and each hid one. 5 of the 6 criminals turned themselves in out of guilt, but one was still on the run. The right arm he'd hidden had yet to be found. The major details lined up with what was in the tabloid I'd read earlier. It certainly was a tragic incident, but it wasn't so terrible that Rena and Mion needed to hide it from me. I guess they didn't want someone who just moved here to have a negative impression of Hinamizawa. I felt grateful for having friends who worried so much about me, as well as shame for still being so interested in it. It was near the end of all the trouble with the dam, you see, so everyone was saying that it was Oyashiro-sama's curse. Oyashiro-sama's curse, huh? Oyashiro-sama was the name of the god at the shrine that held the festival today, if I recalled correctly. I see. Their guardian deity rained divine punishment down on the evil dam construction for trying to flood Hinamizawa. I was not expecting a CG here. Hello, madam. Apparently the younger ones didn't think so. But it seems like the elderly in the village never doubted that it was Oyashiro-sama's curse. The woman with Tomitake-san chuckled mischievously. Tomitake-san began laughing with her. It was so infectious, I ended up laughing as well. But I wonder about it now. There are quite a few, I think. Amongst the youth, too. A few... what? People who believe in Oyashiro-sama's curse. The woman's lips were still curled into a smile, but her expression turned stern. Then after that, it continued every year. Always around this time. Continued? What continued? Tomitake-san paused for a second as if to build up some suspense. Then he whispered to me, as if someone might have been listening. Every year, on the day of the Watanagashi, somebody dies. The year following the dismemberment, on the day of the Watanagashi, a man from Hinamizawa who had supported the dam fell off a cliff overlooking some rapids and died while he was on vacation. Speaking of his wife, unfortunately, her body was also never recovered. He supported the dam construction, even though he lived in Hinamizawa. At the time, There were whispers amongst the elderly saying it was Oyashiro-sama's curse. The woman chuckled mischievously again. Then the next year, the night of the Watanagashi, the shrine Shinto priest died suddenly from an unknown illness. His wife drowned herself in the bog that night. The shrine Shinto priest? You mean he was from the shrine here? The woman nodded. There was a rumor amongst the villagers that they weren't able to quell Oyashiro-sama's anger. Then, the year after that, again, on the night of the Watanagashi, they discovered the battered body of a local housewife. Housewife? Up until now, all these mysterious deaths were people involved with the dam or who had connections with Oyashiro-sama. With that in mind, could the housewife have been involved in some way too? Exactly. The woman stated slyly. No, it was more menacingly. The victim's family, you see, happened to be that of the younger brother of the dam supporter who fell to his death 2 years before. The younger brother is still alive, it seems, but it did bother him quite a bit, so he moved to the neighboring town. For a while, I stood there with my mouth agape. The battle over the dam construction, with Hinamizawa's future at stake, and the murder at the center of it all. That was all I knew, and that was all I wanted to ask about. But that wasn't all there was to the story. Homicide, body disposal, accidental deaths, terminal illness, suicide, fatal beatings. I'm a pretty level-headed person. I don't really want to believe in curses. But the freakish deaths happened every year on the day of the Watanagashi, and all of them were related to the dam construction? It was so easy to dismiss each of them as coincidences by themselves. But when you put them all together, dismissing all of them as coincidence would then defy logic. I don't believe in curses, but every single year on the day of the Watanagashi, somebody or something makes it happen without fail. The woman chuckled again, as if she picked up on what I was thinking. It felt like she was saying, maybe there was, maybe we frightened him, stuff like that. I felt embarrassed at being read so easily. I pressed Tomitaka-san to continue, a bit of impatience and irritation in my tone. Then, so someone died the next year, right? Who was it that time? I wonder, who do you think, Keiichi-kun? The hell? The way he said it didn't agree with me. The sarcastic tone ticked me off. Don't avoid the question. I'm serious here. Hey, calm down, Keiichi-kun. I realized when she tried to calm me down that I had been panicking. We aren't trying to avoid the question, Keiichi-kun. It's just, when you say the next year, that's today. When Tomitaka-san hesitated to say it, she finished for him. I broke into a cold sweat. I really didn't like the direction this was headed. Nobody wants to speak of it, but they all think it's going to happen again tonight. The festival was so cheerful, though. Well, the victim last year, the housewife, she was a non-believer. It turns out she didn't even attend the Watanagashi festival. There was a rumor going around that if you didn't participate in the festival, you would incur Oyashiro-sama's wrath. Didn't you hear anything about this, Keiichi-kun? I never even heard a whisper of that rumor. Then the reason everyone was at the festival was they were afraid of the curse? I figured that must have been the reason. There were a lot more people at the Watanagashi than usual. I guess everyone was just afraid after all of Oyashiro-sama's curse. I couldn't utter a single word. In this modern age, where we've made progress in all scientific fields, shedding light on the unknown and misunderstood, where black and white television has been eradicated and we've sent men to the moon, even with all of our accomplishments, this can exist in modern society? Tons of invitations were sent out to neighboring towns' youth groups to help pad the numbers. But after that string of events, few decided to join. The municipal committee members were complaining about how hard it was to gather participants. Also, the police are treating each case as isolated. They don't believe they're connected. But apparently, they sent quite a few plainclothes officers for security. It finally began to dawn on me why Rena and Mion were reluctant to talk. If nothing happened during this Watanagashi, everything would have been over with and I'd be none the wiser. If nothing happened, all would be well. In that case, it would all end up being just crazy talk. I should have just pretended like I knew nothing from the beginning. Then they wouldn't have acted like nothing happened. And we would have all gotten back to life as usual. Maybe it was just too much for him after all. The woman ran her fingers through her hair as she sighed. No, it wasn't. Not at all. I had tried to act strong, but that just served to emphasize how much the information had unsettled me. After seeing how I looked, Tomitaka-san appeared to regret saying anything. Letting out a sigh, he then spoke, forcing an awkward, upbeat demeanor. Keiichi-kun, surely you don't believe in such things as curses. Well, no. If the causes of all the crimes were unknown, with the perpetrators and their methods all mysteries, then I'd concede the possibility of a curse. But that's not how things are in reality. Police investigations have already uncovered the truth and perpetrators for all of the cases. Hearing him say police made me feel a lot better. It was perfect for repelling the word curse. The first one, the dismemberment, for example. I told you, didn't I? All but one of the perpetrators were arrested. It's only a matter of time for the last one. The motive turned out to have been an argument they had while intoxicated. That's no curse. Don't you agree? That was true. If it didn't happen on the day of the Watanagashi, then I wouldn't think it was related to the curse at all. The accidental deaths of the couple who supported the dam is the same. He was in a position that made others hate him. The police made a point of investigating from that angle. They concluded it was an accident, not foul play. But they both happened on the day of the festival, right? Just think about it, Keiichi-kun. Do you think people with a lot of enemies here in Hinamizawa could participate easily in a local festival? It would be especially hard for them to be around during the Watanagashi. So they probably left Hinamizawa intentionally around this time of year to travel, don't you think? It wasn't a very clear explanation, but I sort of understood what Tomitaka-san was getting at. So I pressed on, earnestly, asking more questions so that I could convince myself. Then, Tomitaka-san, what about the priest who died after that? The one with the unknown illness? That also happened on the day of the festival. It's even easier to explain what happened to the Shinto priest. The Watanagashi is a really big event that happens once a year. It's probably from all the built-up stress. Or it may have been because of a pre-existing condition. But it was an unknown illness. It's hard to believe such a thing could exist with all our advances in medicine. It's just an exaggeration. Rumors making rumors. Anyone would get worked up over having incidents happen 2 years in a row. The sudden death is quite unnatural, though. Of course, the police ordered an autopsy because of the strange way he died. But there wasn't enough for them to open a full investigation, you know? Turns out it was just a sudden death due to illness. The priest's wife committed suicide, correct? What about that? I believe I already explained that. Everyone was shaken up by the incidents happening for a third year. Those who are of strong faith were quick to believe it was the work of the curse. Of course, that included the priest's wife. Apparently, they found a suicide note that said something like, "My death will quell Oyashiro-sama's anger." Well then, how about the next incident with the housewife? That happened on the day of the Watanagashi too. The perpetrator has already been caught and the case has been closed. Turns out it was just some nut job trying to continue the legacy of the Hinamizawa curse. Then, how about the incident the next year? Oh yeah. This year is the next year. Tomitake-san gave a hearty laugh. Nothing will happen. Not this year. There was never a curse to begin with. It's just that a group of people believed it was the explanation for a string of coincidences. My internal computer finally got itself back on track. I felt a bit embarrassed by how childish I'd become after losing control and panicking. I can see very clearly now that Kiichi-kun really does love Hinamizawa. Even if Oyashiro-sama's curse actually did exist, I can't imagine that Kiichi-kun would become a target. I felt very relieved. I should probably just forget everything I heard tonight. I'll greet Rina and Mion tomorrow with the same smile as always. They'd probably also like to end tonight without incident, so they can continue on tomorrow without having worried me. Perhaps seeing my change in attitude, the woman who had been listening in stretched as she got up from the rock she was sitting on. Well then, I should be getting back. Goodness, I think I may have gone on a bit too long. There were so few people compared to the crowd from before. I could only make out a few groups of families enjoying the cool evening air. I looked at my watch. It seemed we'd talked for the better part of an hour. Didn't you come along with your friends, Keiichi-kun? Not going to look for them? Oh, yeah. They might all be looking for me. You're quite the scoundrel, making the girls look for you. See you, Keiichi-kun. Have a nice night. You too, Jiro-san. I'll see you a bit later. Tomitake-san seems to be quite the scoundrel himself. So his name is Jiro. After dusting off her backside, she disappeared into the crowd of people still busy cleaning up the shrine grounds. I was not expecting this upbeat music again after all that tension. Keiichi-kun! So sorry! Hey, Rena. In her place, Rena came running over. Rena ran. Sorry. I could see all the others behind her. Speak of the devil. My bad, Kei-chan. We got so caught up in our discussion. I'd completely forgotten about them while caught up in my own conversation, so we were even. My, so Tomitake-san was with you. This works out perfectly. We still need to settle the shooting gallery competition. Ah, that's right. So I guess I'm gonna end up dead last. In the end, after my dramatic victory, Rika-chan was the last challenger, but there weren't many targets left. The ones remaining were all tiny and difficult to hit. She did take her time and aim, but all 3 shots completely missed. She was to end up sharing the loser's crown with Tomitake-san. However, she did her little meeping cry in front of the owner, and he turned to mush instantly. So she was given a pack of gum as a consolation prize. Her methods were a bit audacious, but she did avoid being the loser rather magnificently. Come to think of it, Rika-chan is quite the trickster.
I have no idea what Keiichi is talking about.
Blows bubble. Now then, it's decided that Tomitake-san is dead last. Everyone cheered and applauded. Tomitake-san smiled wryly, slightly bewildered. Pardon? So, Tomitake-san, are you ready? Penalty time! Oh, I completely forgot about that. You're too naive, Tomitake-san. This is why you've got to avoid losing in our club. Mion pulled a felt-tip marker from her pocket. Oh, it's that. Show him some mercy, Mion. At least use a washable marker. A permanent one is too harsh. It just has to be permanent. Water-based marker would come off in the laundry. Whoa, what is this? Please, take it easy on me. All of us pinned his arms behind his back, and Mion approached him with the marker in one hand. And squish, squish, squish. But she didn't write on Tomitake-san's face. She wrote on the shirt he was wearing. You'd better have your big break this year. Mion. Rena took up the marker next. Show me your photos next time, okay? Star. Rena. It was a little heartwarming, and I just had to laugh. He's wearing a black tank top, though, so I don't know how it's coming across. This is more like a farewell card than a penalty. I'm not as soft as the rest. I'll make sure this is a proper penalty. Haha, dead last, Satoko. Try harder next time, Rika. Here you go, Keiichi-san. I couldn't decide what to write, but based on what kind of penalty this was probably the most appropriate. Come back and play again. Keiichi. Tomitake-san was silent the entire time. At first, he was quite bewildered, but now he had a different look on his face. So, I have to wear this all the way back to Tokyo as part of the penalty. Of course! You'd better wear it all the way home. You could wear it when you come back. It would be nice. He appeared deeply moved. Embarrassment mixed with a wealth of other emotions made him turn a bright red. Understood. I'll wear this the next time I come here. I promise. Everyone cheered and applauded. It was the finest parting gift possible for a buddy heading out tonight. I saw the woman who was with Tomitake-san standing near the festival grounds. It seemed Tomitake-san noticed her too and knew it was time to leave. Seems like your guest is waiting. Isn't it about time? Yeah, that's certainly how it seems. Tomitake-san headed off towards her and seemed to apologize for making her wait. We all shouted stuff at Tomitake-san. Each time we did, he looked back and waved his hand. Eventually, he faded into the darkness of the night, out of sight. It was quite the casual farewell. This wasn't the first time any of us had seen someone off. They had done the same thing many times before. He's gone. Well, it's about time we take off too. Rika-chan had to stay behind with the other committee members since they were having a meeting. Satoko was tagging along with her. I headed back home with the usual suspects. The walk back was quite lively, with the talk of today's war stories. Should have done this, should have done that kind of stuff. Rena and I parted ways with Mion. Then it was just the two of us. Then we got to my house, and I parted ways with Rena as well. It's already pretty late. You all right by yourself? Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. It's close. I'm going to run, too. If you run into some weirdo, just yell. If I do shout, will you come and save me, maybe? Maybe? If I hear you. Okay. I'll scream loud enough so you can hear me. Merrily spinning her arms around at high speed, Rena dashed off. She was fine. In that mode, not even an adult could stand against her. Rena's cheerful presence disappeared, and it finally became quiet again. The curse that not a soul mentioned even under their breath. The more I learned about it tonight, the more unsettling it became. It didn't show on any of their faces, but they were probably all quite concerned about it as well. But if nothing happens tonight, and it all ends up being just crazy talk, nothing will happen. Nothing bad, nothing at all. What's wrong, Keiichi? Why are you standing in a place like that? Come inside, you'll catch a cold. It was my mom. Did you go, Mom? To the Watanagashi festival? In the end, your father didn't wake up, so I missed it. A little disappointing. Mom stuck her tongue out with a bit of an embarrassed look on her face. And that's that chapter. And new tip. That's a lot of tips, actually. Alright. Between chapters, hydration check. Hi, Tequila. Good water. Alrighty. Let's see what those new tips are. Hojo couple's falling incident. From the June 1980 edition. On the afternoon of a certain date at 2 p.m., office employee blank and his wife blank of Hinamizawa Village in Shishibone Prefecture disappeared after falling 27 meters from the observatory platform in Shirakawa Prefecture. Police and firefighters searched downstream and discovered the body of blank at around 7 p.m. that evening. His wife, blank, has yet to be found. The search has run into difficulties due to the effects of Typhoon 3 from the previous day. It appeared a railing at the observatory that the X's leaned on had broken, causing them to fall. The groundskeeping staff was questioned by the police in regards to facility deterioration and if park maintenance was performed properly. That's all for that one. Oh. So they didn't say the names of the couples, or the names of the incidents in, the article. But Hojo, I want to say that's, Satoko's family name? I think it's Satoko Hojo. If so, that's terrifying. Alright. And then I just looked. Terminal illness death of Shinto priest Furude. If I'm not mistaken, isn't Furude... I'm literally just now noticing this. Isn't Furude Rika's family name? Hold on, I want to check this. It is, in fact. And they did give character surnames before, so it's not a spoiler to look it up. Rika's last name is Furude. And real quick, I'm going to look up Satoko's to see if I'm correct on the other one. Yep, Satoko Hojo. That... I actually did not know. I genuinely did not know those. Oh no. Like, this is genuinely, I didn't notice that the first time. I just noticed the couple's falling incident, but Hojo's couple's falling incident. So they're somehow related to Satoko, the couple who fell. The Shinto priest and his wife are somehow related excuse me, somehow related to Rika. Housewife murder is blank. It's just housewife murder. But anyway, that is very concerning. So let's see about the Shinto priest. From the June 1981 edition. On the afternoon of a certain date, around 10 p.m. in the blank district of Hinamizawa village in the Shishibone prefecture, the Shinto priest of the Furude shrine passed away after an existing condition he was recovering from suddenly worsened. Parties close to the deceased said he was suffering from anxiety issues concerning the festival, which was to be held that day. Also, after Blank's death, his wife Blank went missing, leaving behind a farewell note. The police and local youth association continued the search. However, given the presence of the farewell message and the fact that the Onikakushi swamp is said to be bottomless, they have run into difficulties. Now the housewife. It wasn't reported in the newspaper. I forgot that's how that one went, and it gave me such intense chills. There's still the music didn't kick back on, what the hell? Or did I mute my mic? Hold on. Yes, I did. I just leaned forward. Okay, so I have, like, part of my headset clipped onto my shirt, so when I leaned into the mic, I accidentally turned the volume all the way down. So that's on me. But anyway, yeah, that just added an extra layer of chill to me. But yeah, I forgot. Okay, so housewife murder. Let's look at the details of that one. There are none. That genuinely is like the most chilling way they could cover that one. And yet, I see there is a fourth. Radio log. This is Okinomiya Station calling Unit 3. Unit 3, please respond. This is Unit 3, loud and clear. Backup is heading your way. Hold position until further instructions. Over. Roger, Unit 3 acknowledged. Requesting no headlights. Requesting radio silence. Station, the doctor has arrived. They want to carry it away. What's the order? Over. Acknowledged. Leave it to the doctor. Affirmative. Understood. Backup has arrived. Shouldn't we let them take a photo first? I think the Vic is done for. I wonder what that could be about. And so let us continue. This will probably be, depending on how this goes, this might be my last chapter. It kind of depends on how far it goes. If it's super long again, then probably. Oh yeah, let's, well, since I read those, refreshing the hydration check. Okay. Just a little tequila. Let's continue. It's okay, tequila. I was just getting water. Sheesh. Good morning. Nice job yesterday, Kei-chan. You didn't do so badly yourself, Mion. Yesterday was fun.
Oh, that's right. Keiichi-kun, thank you very much for Mr. Bear.
I'm glad you like it. Don't use it as a pincushion, though.
I wouldn't.
To the school. In the hall. Still chatting happily, we entered the classroom. But the moment I stepped into the room, a splashing sound and a nasty sensation. It was a bucket filled to the brim with water. And unfortunately, my foot stepped right into it. Ah, God, so soggy socks. No. Hey, Satoka.
Mine now. How diligent of you to mop the floor this morning.
Whoa, why are you so close? Why did you get close? Why? This is the first time an avatar has gotten close to the screen on me. What the fuck are you doing? Clomp, 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 whip.
Keiichi's flicked my forehead. You should set a more brutal trap next time.
Rika! Seeing that, Rena began to swoon as Mion looked on in disbelief. Everything was the same as always. Everybody was there, and nothing felt out of place. The uncertainties I'd had in the back of my mind since yesterday had vanished.
What is it, Keiichi-kun? Didn't get enough sleep, maybe? Maybe?
I slept like a log. But if you want, I'll do a reenactment during class.
You shouldn't do that.
Mion alerted us as the teacher was coming, so everyone shuffled off to their seats. Hello? I do not recall this avatar before. Hi. You're cute. Hello, I'm assuming. Teacher? Hello? Madam? I like the blue hair and the blue eyes, and your dress is cute. Hi. I got a crush on the teacher already.
Good morning, everyone. So, yesterday was the festival. Thank you to all the people who stayed until the very end to help clean up.
We were all slackers, so none of us actually helped clean up. Actually, I had a feeling that the only thing we did was run around the festival and cause a ruckus.
Okay then, this time of year, you might see some people here from out of town doing interviews about the festival for magazines.
I thought it was the usual stuff, so I was going to tune it out, but then I noticed the different tone in her voice and started paying attention.
You may be asked questions. Please don't say anything silly or something that could be taken the wrong way.
Do you understand? In unison, everyone replied, "Yes, ma'am." What she'd said was really vague, but I understood what she was trying to say. After all, this was the 5th year. There were probably lots of third-rate reporters pouring in, hoping something regarding the curse had happened. It did nothing but perpetuate the village's bad image. She was saying, "Don't spout stupid shit you think is funny." And now, I was one of the ones who needed to keep their mouths shut. I found it rather cute how I felt a sense of unity from such a trite thing, if I do say so myself. Oh my god, I can't believe the teacher actually got their own character portrait. And she's heckin' cute! I was summoned to club activities after school. Since everybody was still pretty tired from yesterday, we just spent the day relaxing. Yeah, that wasn't happening!
Today, let's play a classic game of deduction. How about this one?
Oh, a game from overseas! Looks interesting.
The instructions are in English, but the rules don't seem that hard. I won't lose, you hear? I'm not too bad at this game.
It seemed that Rena didn't handle this kind of game very well. The rules are, the person who can match the murderer, weapon, and the scene of the crime wins. So it's Clue. They're playing Clue. There were 3 kinds of cards comprised of suspects, weapons, and locations. I could see that the names Mion and Rika were written on the suspect cards. Oh, a card with my name on it as well. There are plenty of different weapons too, like knives, axes, and poison. The locations are pretty nice too, like the living room, the study, and the courtyard. So basically, you take out one of each of the cards. These are the answer cards. So we shuffle the remaining cards and hand them out. We ask each other about the cards and figure out the right ones. I see, so the cards nobody has are the true perpetrators. Then you raise your hand if you know the answer. The game ends when we check if the answer is correct. And we check if it's correct. If you're right, then you get a point. If you're wrong, then you lose a point. Since the game ends, even if no one gets it right, all the cards are gathered up and redistributed. You'll learn as you go. You really have to use your brain. You'll get confused if you don't take notes. Yeah, that's why I remember old games of Clue would actually come with that little notepad and pencils. That said, I'm sure those got used up fast. Anyway. The rest you can figure out by playing. So, Mion, what's the penalty this time? Everyone directed their attention to Mion. Let's see. We're all still a little tired from yesterday, so maybe we'll take it easy with the gopher penalty. You'll be asked to rush out and buy stuff for everyone. So, just being asked to go buy stuff like drinks and candy, I guess. I feel like the penalty today is pretty simple. I wonder, is it really? Is Keiichi-san thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah. You don't know what you'll have to go buy. I'm betting Mion would send out whoever loses to buy stuff like hemorrhoid cream or happy family planning manual or other crazy stuff. The cards were lightly shuffled and passed out to each player. The real perpetrator, the correct weapon, and the scene of the murder have been taken out, so that means all the cards I have in my hands are innocent cards. Then, I'll go first, since I'm the club president, I guess. Well then, Mion Knife Study. You pick one suspect, weapon, and murder scene and ask the other players. If you have any of those cards, then you must say, I have one. However, you don't need to say which one you have. Yeah, I got it. Me too. I have one. Oh my, all of them are here. 3 people answered when she asked if they had Mion, Knife, and Study. So that means that Mion and Knife and Study are all in the clear. Gotta jot that down. Then I'll go. Rena Axe Lounge. Only 2 people said they had one. So it means out of Rena, Axe, and Lounge, one of them is correct and is part of the crime. No, wait. Even if they say they have one, they don't have to say how many. It's possible that either Satoko or Rika-chan has 2 of the cards. Well, Kei-chan is next. Go ahead. Wait just a little. I'm still sorting things out. The game has me thinking more than I thought. Oh man, this feels like it's going to be tough. Alright, now I have the criminal. What? Already? Here I am spinning around in circles and Mion just now raises her hand? The murderer is Rika-chan in the infirmary with the poison. Well, Mion drew the cards from the box and we checked to see if her deduction was right. I was right! All I needed was one more hand. I couldn't tell whether it was poison or a pistol. I'd never use a pistol. I like killing them slowly with poison. Okay, Rika. Rika-chan said such a hugely terrifying thing with such a sweet little face. But also same. DOTs are so much more fun. Everyone was making a commotion about how they almost had it. For the record. But when I say DOTs, like, clearly I'm using game terminology. It's my preference in games. I would never actually do that to a person. Don't take my shit out of context. Anyway, everyone was making a commotion about how they almost had it. Rena and I were left out in the cold, though. How did you do, Keiichi-kun? I couldn't get it at all. Don't worry. I had no idea either. How can you both be so unsure? You'll both end up in last place together at this rate. That's even worse! Going off buying something together as a couple. What if we end up having to buy the Happy Family Planning Manual?
I can tell from Keiichi's expression that he's not very good at this game.
What? That's not true. I'll show you the true power of Sherlock Maibara during the next round.
My, that sounds just wonderful. I shall give you quite the thrashing.
After that, I managed to somewhat grasp the trick behind the game, but I was still always a step or two behind. I saw that Mion was somehow gleaning information from how the others were asking their questions. That level of experience was just too much. The only way I could stage a comeback was if I became ruthless. I tossed out the simple concept of deduction and switched over the thought process needed to win. The important thing isn't to find out the criminal. It's to win at the game. Eureka! Ah, sorry, I need to go to the bathroom. Take your time and squeeze out a nice one.
Hey, Chan, that's gross.
I had them hold off the game and headed down the hall. The air was crisp. It showed just how stagnant the air in the classroom from our body heat. Wow. Missed a word. It showed just how stagnant the air in the classroom was from our body heat. On the school ground, some of our classmates were still playing around. After spending some time cooling my head, Rena had made her way over towards me.
Keiichi-kun, did you call for me?
Yeah, I did. As I got up from my seat, I winked over at Rena. I'm glad it worked out. I don't want to waste much time, so I'll get right to the point. Rena, what's your record at this game What's your record at this game we're playing today? She was taken aback. After a moment, she hesitantly opened her mouth.
Well, all losses. Why do you ask? I wonder.
I could tell from how apprehensively she was playing. The way things are going, I will as well. I can't figure out a way to pull off a last-minute comeback on this one.
So I guess both of us will be taking that penalty?
Hey, don't accept defeat already. How about we win this? Both of us.
But how can we?
In my face. I brought my lips up to Rena's ear. Whisper sounds.
Huh? Is that allowed?
Did you forget, Rena? The second rule of our society. Do everything in your power to obtain victory.
Yeah, I'll try my best.
Oh, God. I'm so worried about... now that I know that's a thing. Our plan of attack was a quite rudimentary one. At the beginning of the game, everyone would be focused on their own hand for a while, taking notes and whatnot. Since our seats were right next to each other, we'd reveal our hands to each other. If we did it under the desk, then nobody would know. We'd begin the game with twice as much information as everyone else. Having this much information would mean we'd need to investigate less. With this sort of plan of attack, we start off with a big lead over the other guys.
Yeah, with this we can probably win.
We both smirked at each other. If I was the shady businessman, then Rena was the corrupt senator. Pleasure doing business with you.
Then let's hurry back.
Let's hurry back. We'll work as a duo and to surprise everyone.
Hey now.
Oh, wait, sorry. Other way around. I had it right the first time.
Then let's hurry back. We'll work as a duo to surprise everyone.
Hey now, there's no point if we go back together. It would be like flat out telling them we made a little arrangement.
Oh, sorry. Then what should we do?
Go back ahead of me, Rena. I'll take my time coming back after washing my face or something.
Okay, got it.
Rena turned around and headed... Excuse me, what the fuck? Rena turned around and headed back to the classroom. I guess I should wait a bit longer before going back. If I went too soon, and it wouldn't seem like I went to the bathroom. If me and one of them suspected something, then there could be problems. Well, they'd figure it out sooner or later, because both Rena and I would start winning over and over again. Both Rena and I will have earned enough points to avoid being the losers by the time Mion realized what was happening. Excellent. Not bad at all. Hello. Hi, madam.
My Barakun, may I have a moment?
Huh? It's the teacher. Man, things were just getting good. What is it? I'm a bit...
You have a guest. Please, make your way to the entrance.
A guest? It's not like I own a hotel.
They have been waiting. Please, hurry.
Right before my big match, it was pretty bad timing to have a visitor, but the very fact that someone was here to see me was strange enough to pique my interest. I didn't want to waste any time, so I decided to take care of it quickly. The entryway was a heavy contrast from the hot sunlight and deep shadows. Hello. Waiting there, looking uncomfortably warm, was a middle-aged man, his tie sloppily loosened. It doesn't look sloppily loosened in the art, but anyway. And his jacket tucked underneath his arm. Are you Maibara-san? Keiichi Maibara-san. There was no question that he wasn't a resident of Hinamizawa, and that this was without a doubt the first time he had met me. Ever since I met Tomitake-san, it seems I was fated to meet middle-aged men. Tomitake-san was in his 30s, come on! Or at least I think that's what the game implied. Anyway, that's alright. Who might you be? I have the AC on in my car. Let's talk there. Is it? Don't you know stranger danger rules that you're not supposed to get in the car with an adult? That you don't know? I mean, I guess by asking for Maibara-san, he, made himself known, and then if Keiichi went missing, it's like, well, we have your face. We know what to look for. Anyway, I have the AC on in my car. Let's talk there. It's a bit hot here, don't you think? The man, completely ignoring my question, pointed over to his car parked near the gates and began walking. You've gotta be kidding me. I had no intention of going along with some geezer I didn't even know, and he was asking me to get in his car with him? Stranger danger, my guy. I'm not going to bite. Come on now. Sorry. I'm not going to bite. Come on now. He opened the back door of his car and called me over. I didn't like this old man, but I wanted to know what this was about. Even while knowing that conversations that start out like this have never led to anything good. The inside of his car was pretty cool. Cars with air conditioners were supposed to be a luxury. My dad didn't have one in his car, at least. Please, let me know if it's too cold for you, okay? I have a habit of cranking it all the way up. So, what business do you have with me? Out of spite, I decided to ignore his remark in the same way he did to me and start my own line of questioning. He pulled out a notepad from his pocket and took out a picture that was stuck between the pages. On it was the face of a pretty goofy-looking guy. If you know anything related to this individual, then please, tell me. Who the heck is this? I doubt even his close friends would be able to recognize who he was from this expressionless picture that looked like it was taken at the DMV. There were scribbles done on his shirt, done in permanent marker. Starting with yours, Maibara-san. Quite a few of your classmates signed as well. Huh? This is... Tomitake-san? There was no hint of his usual unreliable and easygoing personality in this photo. It was an expressionless, half-asleep face. Then, do you know this woman? Even before seeing it, I had a good idea of who it was. I don't remember her name, but she's some lady who was with Tomitake-san last night. I didn't know what her name was, but I did know she was a resident of Hinamizawa. When was the last time you saw these two? The night of the Watanagashi. We spoke. They seemed pretty close, I guess. Did anything bother you about them? Anything is fine. Go ahead and say it. Being asked for every little detail is very troubling, honestly. I had a pretty good idea of who this guy was by now. Did something happen to them? There was no response to my inquiry. Thus, I replied to that silence in kind. I was pretty sure, no, certain, that this guy was a cop. Then why? Why was he asking about Tomitake-san? Did something happen to him? More importantly, why me? Shouldn't there have been plenty of other people who knew more about him than I did? The roar of the air conditioner felt unbearably loud. After a long pause, he finally spoke again. You've moved here just recently, isn't that right, Maibara-san? Are you aware, I wonder, about the stories of Oyashiro-sama? My heart began to race. I'm pretty terrible at hiding things. It probably showed on my face. Not at all. If you don't, then that's fine. Well, I have heard of it. Tomitake-san told me, actually. How much do you know about it? The dismemberment killing, the accidental death, the death by illness followed by suicide, and the lady who was beaten to death. The incidents that always happen the day of the Watanagashi, ending in suspicious deaths. I didn't think Tomitake-san would have kept anything from me. I think that was everything. Or rather, I didn't want to think there was anything more than that. Maibara-san, do you believe in the curse? Feel free to speak openly about it. I don't believe in it. My answer was instant. It wasn't so much that I didn't believe in it, as I was on the verge of believing. I wanted to clear away my own doubts. That was the more prominent feeling. Really? Then that's great. Guess you really are one of those city-raised boys. So what if I don't believe? I have friends waiting, so could you get to the point? The man in this picture is dead. Okay, that really is jumping straight to the point. My mind went blank. Huh? What happened to Tomitake-san? It would seem that he died last night. That was the night of the Watanagashi. Do you understand the implications behind that, Maibara-san? Implications? Not any yet. Not any for the cause of his death or the reasons behind it. The real problem was that he died on the day of the Watanagashi. Meaning, this year, the curse of Oyashiro-sama had once again... The death of Jiro Tomitake is still confidential. You can understand why that is, right? I didn't want to understand why. Please tell me. Tell me what happened. It was rather peculiar. It might be a little too graphic for someone born and raised in Hinamizawa. It was a roundabout way of saying it, but it caused me to doubt whether or not I wanted to hear the rest. I would only regret forcing myself to learn of something I shouldn't. Or at least, that's how I figured I would feel if I listened to the rest. One of our patrol cars discovered the body on the way back from security detail at the festival. It was late, about 5 till midnight. The location was, you know where the road into town becomes paved, right? Down past the slope, on the shoulder, around there. There were a few streetlights on that road. Its pitch black darkness was only broken by the lights of passing cars and the moon. It was a stroke of luck that Tomitake-san was spotted collapsed on the shoulder of the road. Tomitake-san was face down, covered in blood. Blood and muck covered the asphalt. We thought it was a hit and run at first, but when the officer checked to see if he was still alive, he quickly noticed something abnormal. His throat had been ripped open. From a knife or something? No. Nails. Nails? As in fingernails? You mean his neck was clawed through? I'm getting chills just picturing it. Oh my god. From the coroner's report, it was revealed that it was with his own nails. Huh? What does that mean? Basically, it means it wasn't a murder. It was suicide. Tomitaka-san, whatever was going through his mind, tore open his own throat as hard as he could with his own nails. Tore through the skin until he started to bleed. And even then, Tomitaka-san didn't stop. He continued clawing with enough intensity that it could have peeled off his nails, still clawing. Then, as his nails reached those vital arteries that you should never damage, he continued clawing. Blood splattered on the ground around him. As he bled while gasping for breath, he collapsed, his body spasmed, and he died in agony. We thought drugs were to blame, but nothing of that nature was detected. But this was a suicide? I've never heard of such a thing. This unnatural way of dying. If this wasn't a mysterious death, then what was? The way he died. In these 5 years, his death most resembled that of a curse. As if to show both myself and Tomitaka-san, who proclaimed there was no such thing as a curse, that we were wrong. There were a few more suspicious details. From his body chemistry, perspiration, epilation, and so on, we concluded that he was in a state of hysteria right before his death. That was a given. It's hard to believe someone could be in a sound state of mind while clawing out their throat. Wounds on his hands matched a discarded piece of lumber found nearby. There were traces of where he struck trees and the guardrails with it. Tomitaka-san's blood was found all over the place. Meaning that while tearing at his own throat, he was swinging around a piece of lumber. There were external injuries, which were not self-inflicted, discovered on Tomitaka-san. There was a high probability Tomitaka-san was assaulted. The external injuries suggest that there may be multiple suspects. To summarize, Tomitaka-san was surrounded and attacked. While wandering the night roads in a state of panic, after being cornered, he picked up a piece of lumber and tried fighting back. Somewhere in there, he began madly tearing at his own throat, clawing at it. Then, he died. The presumed time of death was between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m., meaning it occurred right after you finished talking to Tomitaka-san at the festival. Everyone signed Tomitaka's shirt. Tomitaka-san's shirt, then parted ways. Right after that. He should have been with a woman. What about her? She's missing. She hasn't shown up to work, and she hasn't returned home either. There was a very high probability that she was involved in this incident. For a while, I could only gaze off into space. I never would have thought that something unfortunate happening to somebody close to me could affect me this deeply. The time I had spent with Tomitaka-san was short. But we went to the same festival, spent time together, and took part in the same competition. He was one of us. We have been continuing the investigation on various fronts, but when it comes to Oyashiro-sama's curse, the villagers here aren't very cooperative. That I knew well. I would have been none the wiser if not for Tomitaka-san, the outsider, telling me. So that's why you came to me? Because I'm not originally from Hinamizawa? I should have been angry that that was the reason he wanted to hear what happened from me. If things go the way they have been, then the conclusion would be that Jiro Tomitake died from Oyashiro-sama's curse. He turned away from me and gazed far off into the distance. The night of the Watanagashi. During that sacred ritual, he callously snapped off photos, angering Oyashiro-sama. That's how it's going to turn out. There's no way Oyashiro-sama would inflict divine punishment on Tomitake-san. Tomitake-san had to have been killed by humans, and a cowardly group, no less. There's no way I'm going to let this end up being the fault of some curse. I think so as well. There's no such thing as divine punishment or curses. The tense mood was... Wait, hold on. Who would have said that? Anyway. The tense mood was cut with the man's hearty laugh. That's how this must be, my Baro-san. Cooperation from individuals in Hinamizawa who don't believe in the curse is indispensable. Understand? Neither Tomitake-san nor I believed in curses. But with the way things were going, it would just end up with Tomitake-san's death marking the 5th year. Which would mean that Hinamizawa had rejected Tomitake-san. That was something I couldn't allow. Tomitake-san was one of us. He didn't live in Hinamizawa, but he came every single year. In a sense, he was more of a resident than I was. There's no way that Tomitake-san could have been cursed by Oyashiro-sama. But there's nothing I can do to help. I have no idea what happened that night either. No. If you see or hear something that draws your attention, that is enough. If I see or hear... He was talking in the future tense. Things or people or rumors. Anything is fine. I don't care if they're unfounded. Here, this is my number. If I'm not there, then just leave a message with whoever picks up. He handed me a piece of paper with his number on it, but I hesitated for a second. If I took it, then whether I wanted to or not, I'd be mired knee-deep in this matter. Please, help me solve these questions surrounding Tomitake-san's unfortunate death. That's right. Why was I hesitating? I needed to find the murderer who killed my friend. I snatched up the piece of paper as a satisfied grin spread across his face. Everything we spoke of today is a secret. Please, keep this confidential. Understood. From your friends as well. Especially from Sonozaki-san and Furude-san. Please do not inform them. Sonozaki? You mean Mion? Why? Are you saying they have something to do with the incident? With my friends' names brought up so abruptly, and being told to keep it a secret from them, I became rather angry. This is what they call investigative privilege, I suppose. Don't play games with me! Mion is a close friend of mine! I snapped at him, but he didn't seem to be especially offended. I wouldn't mind telling you, but it may just upset you. Say it! He hesitated a little. Turning his gaze to the outside of the car, he began to speak after thinking for a bit. There is a possibility that the string of incidents happening here in Hinamizawa are a result of a village conspiracy. There's no way that could be right. Give me a break. First of all, is there any proof of that? No evidence. Also, each of the cases were resolved, and none of the perpetrators had any direct connection to the village. Then how did you come to that conclusion? Every year, the enemies of the village die on the day of the Watanagashi. Don't you think that's enough reason to suspect something? Only the residents of Hinamizawa felt that the day of the Watanagashi was sacred. So basically, because incidents happened on that day, it was somehow related to Hinamizawa? First, it was the dam construction foreman. Then it was a villager that supported it. Those the village hold a grudge against die, one after another, from mysterious causes. The means are different, but in the end, the result is the same. Unfounded, unreasonable suspicion. But it couldn't just be shrugged off. So, the victims after that. What about the Shinto priest and his wife's death? They weren't enemies of the village. The villagers had expected leadership from the Shinto priest at the time of the dam dispute. But he wasn't proactive, so there was a faction of villagers who harbored ill will towards him as a result. Ill will? It's not like he did anything bad to the village. What about that housewife after that? Did she die just because she was the wife of the brother of a supporter? That's such a trivial reason to kill someone. And what about Tomatake-san? He's not affiliated with the dam project at all. Was he killed just because he was an outsider? In the beginning, it fell on those related to the dam project, but as the years went on, the enemy thresholds of the victims had become much lower. Well, that's the scary part. The bar keeps getting lower. What's scary about that? It means it's not just enemies of the village anymore. Just being an outsider could be reason enough. Then, you're saying that next year's victim will be picked out of the village outsider pool? It might be a person that just moved here. What do you mean by... I swallowed my words. Here in Hinamizawa, the ones who would be considered the most outside would be my family. I was proof enough of that, wasn't I? I still couldn't really remember the names of the people I passed by. Then, the next victims, my family. Was he saying it was going to be me? But what does that have to do with Mion? I can't go into the details, but the Sonozaki family led the dam protests. Quite fervently so. This is also true of Mion Sonozaki-san herself. She has quite a few misdemeanor and obstruction of public worker offenses on her record because of the protests. I knew Mion had fought. This was the first I'd heard of her family leading the protests, though. Then, well, what did it all mean? Are you saying that Mion's family is involved with this string of incidents? I wouldn't go that far. I'm just saying that if it was a conspiracy, then they'd have the highest probability of being behind it. Not a very clear explanation. I felt like he'd magnificently avoided the details I really wanted to know. We don't know who or how involved anyone is right now. That is exactly why I don't want you to say anything to the villagers. Instead of answering, I just gave a very bitter expression. It seemed that he understood it well enough. Then, think of it like this. I don't want to worry the villagers who blindly believe it's the curse. How about that? What do you mean, how about that? How should I know? But the reasoning behind wanting me to not carelessly open my mouth about it wasn't too hard to comprehend. The perpetrator was here. It had nothing to do with a curse. He was definitely going to be caught by the police and made to pay for his crimes. And none of the villagers should have anything to do with that process. It may cause those sensitive about the curse to just worry needlessly. Just like everyone kept it from me, so I wouldn't worry about it. Is it now my turn to keep it from them so they don't have to worry? I was just talking to myself. Unlike me, everyone else had been worrying over these mysterious incidents yearly. And the incident this time probably means a lot more to them. I didn't want to burden them anymore. In the end, everything went as the man had wanted, as insipid as it was. But it couldn't be helped. I understand. I'll keep it to myself. Is that fine? Mr. Oishi, from the Okinomiya police station. You can call me Kuro-chan if you want. No. Oishi-san is fine. The way he said it was unpleasant, yet retained hints of politeness. He was the spitting image of a vulgar police officer. Though, I've never seen one this bulky before in the cop shows I watch. You must not watch enough cop shows, my guy. I've taken up too much time. Your friends are waiting, aren't they? I should probably let you get back to them. Now that I've planted the seed of doubt in your brain. The door opens with a click, and in streams the oppressive heat. It was blistering outside of the car. Was it really this hot of a day? It was an almost cruel heat, as opposed to the mechanical coolness inside the car. It was as if the land of Hinamizawa itself suddenly hated me. I felt a little sad as that thought crossed my mind. I didn't mean to suspect your friends. Please, don't misunderstand that. I refrained from telling him it was too late to say something that self-serving. It's fine if you don't see or hear anything, my brother-son. It would help to prove that the village is not involved after all. I'll contact you if I see or hear anything. Hear or see anything. But I'm no detective. Please, don't expect too much from me. I won't. You don't have to become a detective. Just go on living as you have up until now. Just let me know if you notice anything. I hastily made my way back to the school building after giving him a quick bow. See you later. Farewell, my Barakun. I returned to the school building without looking back. Damn, how long were they waiting? I don't know how much time had passed. I did feel bad for keeping them waiting, but right now there was a lot on my mind. Tomitaka-san's death was hard enough as it was. But to think that there was the possibility of a village conspiracy? Or still, there was also a chance that Mion was involved? Nonsense. Impossible. Not Mion, Rena, Satoko, or Rika-chan. It was a group that attacked Tomitaka-san? Who could the perpetrators be? Could it be they were hiding here? Somewhere in Hinamizawa? I didn't know. All I could say for certain was that I knew that Mion couldn't be the perpetrator. It's Mi-chan! The perpetrator! Huh? I know Mion can't be the perpetrator. Walks in. Mion's the perpetrator! What? I was startled to hear Rena's voice. With the rope in the lounge. Nope. No. Rena clutched her head while flailing about. Looks like you're just self-destructing over here now. Wow. Keiichi-san, you're quite late. As you may well know, I'm seething with anger. Sorry about that. I was called into the staff room, you see. You were reprimanded for bad behavior? That's a shame. Well, it's been pretty heated over here. Since it's getting pretty late, let's make the next game the last one. If I remember right, I had 0 points. Isn't it pretty much decided that I'm going to be finishing in last place? Don't worry, Keiichi-kun. I'm at -1 points. Oh. The heck? The score is lower than mine and I wasn't even playing! This is the final match to decide if the penalty is going to be carried out by Rena alone or by both Kei-chan and Rena. Yeah, right. Just let Rena do the penalty by herself. We made a promise, Keiichi-kun, that we would both win. I waited all this time, you know? You know? I'm sorry about that. I followed my initial plan of showing Rena my cards, but I didn't say who was the criminal and just waited for her to call.
I got it! The murderer is me, with the poison at the entrance. Is it? Is it? My, Rena. Quite a quick answer. Another stab in the dark. Oh. Rena is correct. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Then it's decided that... Whoop, almost dropped something, sorry. That Keiichi-san will take part in the penalty as well. Whoop. I did drop it that time. All good. Hooray! Keiichi-kun, let's both do our best!
Yeah, let's do our best. It's my fault, so I have no choice.
Then that's game. It's me, Mion Sonozaki, ranked first, and dead last are Keiichi Maibara and Rena Ryugu. Everyone applauded and the game ended.
The problem now was the penalty.
Now then, I ranked first, so I'll decide what you'll be buying for the gopher penalty. What will she make us buy, I wonder?
Let's blacklist the drugstore. That was your aim, wasn't it?
Huh? I don't have any business at the drugstore. This old man's already got a list prepared for you on this piece of paper.
Whoa, there's a lot written here.
Or sorry, well, there's a lot written here.
A lot?
Damn it, what is she making us buy?
2 blocks of tofu, shampoo and conditioner, apple vinegar, and fried tofu.
The heck is this? It looks more like a shopping list than a penalty. Me was certain she was going to win today. Rule 7 of our society! You cannot refuse any penalty. Here's some money. The shampoo I usually get is Fruit Fable. Thanks!
This is just your grocery list! I promised myself that if I won next time, I'd make her go buy hemorrhoid cream.
That's quite a way to end it after the tensity of talking with Oishi-san.
Hoo boy.
Okay, new tips. And that would be the end of the chapter, and I was thinking of stopping around 2, so this will probably be where I call it after I read the tips. We are definitely chomping into the real meat and potatoes of the story now, though. I'm not going to sound tense while this music is playing, however. It sounds too goofy. Let's look at the tips! What do we got?
There are more than 4 perpetrators? Let's see. Hypovolemic shock induced by clawing out their own throat. Tissue is packed under the nails. Not someone else's nails. It's undoubtedly by the individual's own nails. The shape of the scars also matches. Yeah, I know the immediate cause of death was suicide.
I get it. You're saying the cause of death is unnatural, right?
It's not quite on the same level as when your back itches and you scratch a little too hard and draw blood, after all. Some of Tomitake's fingernails had been pulled out. Fingernails actually rip off surprisingly easily. But it really hurts. Under normal circumstances, the pain would prevent you from completely pulling them out. Also, there were a lot of bruises on Tomitake's body. It's clear from the shape of them that he was assaulted first by someone, or a group of people. According to the toxicology report, the deceased was in an extreme state of hysteria right before death. Then he fought back and clawed out his own throat because of how hysterical he had become. The guys attacking him certainly would have been surprised by that. It is possible that, in such an abnormal environment,
a person could perform acts that a sane individual couldn't possibly imagine. Of course, those are very rare cases. Actually, Oishi-kun, that wood plank the deceased used as a weapon, they only found sand and the paint from the guardrail on it. What about cloth fibers or skin? Nothing. The deceased didn't strike the assailants. Or could it be they took the plank he was fighting back with? In that case, they wouldn't have gone out of their way to replace it with another. They'd take them all. That's true. Tomitake is pretty built and tanned. He was quite athletic. That's right. He was pretty active. I can't imagine what kind of sports he did when he was alive, but I think his physical strength would be on the higher side. Meaning, he would be difficult to overpower in a brawl. If a man with such a physique sensed he was in danger and swung the plank around frantically, it's just unthinkable that it wouldn't even nick the perpetrator. And his opponent was unarmed. This guy had a wooden plank, so you'd think he'd hit them at least once. To surround and take down someone of his physique, I wonder how many people it would take. You dimwit. If anything, that's your specialty. Have you forgotten your bad cop days? If it was to take down this guy, how many would I need? I don't know. Who's saying what right now? When a group wants to take down big prey, it's fundamental to attack with numbers. I'd guess about 4. Even if there was a gap in their strength, they'd manage. Then there were quite a few perpetrators. So any drunk and disorderly groups of more than 4 are suspicious? A group of 4 or more. Just, if they had that many, then couldn't they have hidden the body in a less obvious location? Or did he somehow break away from that fatal predicament? Then there would be no reason to commit suicide. Moreover, I still can't comprehend the irregular way he died. It's full of mysteries. That's under serious consideration on my end, too. I'll be examining it as thoroughly as possible, but don't get your hopes up. After all, we've never encountered a death like this before. I'm not hoping for much, but I am looking forward to the results. Oishi-san, the chief is calling you. Thanks. See you around. Yeah, best wishes. 4, you say? Alright, let's see. Search notice. What do we got? Jiro Tomitake, deceased. Resided in a cheap hotel in Shishibone City. Registered under the name Jiro Tomitake. Pen name? Travels via folding bike. No license. The bicycle was found 300 meters away, abandoned at the side of a forest path. Present on the day of the festival. Accompanied by the missing Mio Takano. Was seen around 9 p.m. by police. Location afterwards unknown. Held residence in Hinamizawa for 1 week each season for the last 5 to 6 years. A freelance photographer specializing in wild birds. Check with magazine companies. Nothing suspicious in the film located among the articles of the deceased. Wallet was among the articles of the deceased. Mere act of violence? From the contents of his wallet, he spent most of his time around Tokyo and Chiba. Along the Sobu National Railway line? No individual matching the name Jiro Tomitake in the residency records of any of the Tokyo wards. Compare teeth to dental records. Sent to Metro Police. Attach a photo. Sent to Metro Police. Contact magazines regarding Jiro Tomitake. Mio Takano. Missing. Nurse at Irie Clinic. Became close to Tomitake through her passion for wild bird photography. Resides in Okinomiya blank district blank. Single.
Witnessed accompanying Tomitake on the festival grounds. Currently missing. Abducted? Or maybe a suspect? An important person of interest. Had no motive to kill the deceased. Squabble from jealousy? Need to thoroughly investigate their relationship. Place of work, etc. Need to get information from the police on scene again. I want some cream puffs. 4 jumbo ones. Oishi. Man, can't think about solving murder on an empty stomach. Okay, real quick. Yep, back to silly music. So I'm just gonna go to the... I guess, hold on, well first let me save. Let's see. Save in this slot. Yep. We are now at the end of chapter 7. We making progress. Okay. That said, this cheery music feels like a weird thing to end on, even though this ominous music isn't too much better. But whatever. We'll go with this one, because it does fit a lot better. So. We have reached the meat and potatoes of the real plot of this game, really. I feel like there's not much more to say. I would keep going if I could, but I know I need to rest my throat, and I got other shit to do tonight as well, so. But I'm excited to be at the point where we're at. The tension between friends now. So yeah. That is gonna do it for Higurashi for the evening.